Upon joining an organization, whether a religious, political, or even a criminal one, you lose not only your freedom of life but also the freedom of your soul. When one is in an organization, they cannot speak or act freely, and a person without freedom is much the same as a sheep in the fold. All those who become involved in organizations have distorted minds and imperfect personalities, and the longer they remain in them, the more likely they are to become paranoid. Because of the long-term influence of organizational thinking and behavior, they become tight screws in those organizations and unable to identify themselves. The situation is the same as with tigers being trapped in zoos. As mountains become less familiar, tigers lose their courage to roar atop them and learn to regard the world outside the cage as a prison while the prison is actually within the cage. Actually, joining an organization is gambling with an uncertain future, joining a political party is gambling with one's destiny, and joining a religious organization is gambling with one's soul. Therefore, all members of political parties and religions are gamblers. They are clever in trifles but irrational and stupid in important things except for those leaders who climb to the throne after fighting and killing each other off. Lifechanyuan is totally different from the above organizations because they are only tied by the relationships of being within the same organizations, and the friendships between them are only of the party spirit, while those in Lifechanyuan are tied by the friendships of wanting to improve themselves and of being good examples for other community members to improve themselves. What brings us together is that we are in resonance with each other, love each other, and share the same ideal and goal. Thus, the relationships among us are those of friends, brothers, sisters, and lovers, and what links us together is not the collective will, but friendships and our worship for the greatest Creator. Therefore, Lifechanyuan focuses on human nature, friendship, giving full play to strength of character, intelligence, truth, kindness, and beauty inside each Chanyuan celestial, with emphasis on the full experience of joy, happiness, and friendship. Religious organizations have rituals and regular gatherings, while Lifechanyuan has none. Political parties have constitutions and organizational disciplines, while Lifechanyuan has none. The members of religions and political parties must pay certain fees, while Lifechanyuan members pay none. Religions and political parties have strict organizational forms and there are disputes for status and power within them, while there are none in Lifechanyuan. The positions of all Chanyuan celestials are predestined, lifelong, and cannot be replaced by others. For example, Crane Celestial is the general director of Lifechanyuan and he will remain so forever, even if he resigns and ends his participation in the construction of Lifechanyuan, and even after he leaves this mortal world for the 1,000-year world. Another example is for the 8 positions of sages of Lifechanyuan. Once anyone becomes one, they will always remain one. Other positions such as the saints of Yin and Yang, the 4 heavenly kings, the 8 masters, the 16 zens, and several others, all these positions enjoy either lifelong or eternal tenure. They are as stars in the sky, each has their own unique function and position, and none can be replaced. Religions and political parties protect their own interests, only granting leftovers to outsiders, while Lifechanyuan maintains the overall interests of everyone. Religions and political parties only recruit devotees and their doors are only open to those who support them exclusively, while the doors of Lifechanyuan are open to everyone, religious followers, partisans, leaders, Democrats with neither party nor religion, and even unemployed vagrants. As long as you are a sage, you are welcome to become a celestial. There are no rules or regulations and no rights or obligations in Lifechanyuan. People are independent of each other and follow their own inclinations. We celebrate our happiness every day by singing and dancing, but we might not do it for several years when we are under dark clouds. Our causes depend on the driving forces in every celestial's mind and we are free from any compulsion. Moral courts reside deep within our hearts which enable us to make self-confessions, self-litigations, and self-judgments without any involvement from others. Xiefeng is only the guide of Lifechanyuan, but he is not qualified to command anyone. Chanyuan celestials respect him because of his wisdom and friendship as well as his sincere respect for them and because of the resonance that we all share deep inside. Xiefeng never imposes his will on any Chanyuan celestial who does not accept it. In short, Lifechanyuan is not an organization. Lifechanyuan is the wonderland for resonant souls. Xiefeng. October 25, 2008. By the will of the greatest creator and the guidance and teachings of Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni and celestial being Lao Tzu, Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, ancient and modern sages at home and abroad, and according to the life mode of the thousand-year world of heaven, Lifechanyuan has been built for harvesting ripe crops, for leaving seeds for next earth human being, and for introducing the Lifechanyuan era to humankind. The term, Chanyuan celestial refers to those angels and celestial beings who have lived in heaven in a previous life but have gotten lost in this world and cannot find their ways home, to those who have made achievements in practicing Buddhism, the way of Jesus Christ, or the way of celestial, and to others who are humble and relatively perfect and are pursuing the life of heaven. Chanyuan celestials are born, not cultivated by short-term education. Xiefeng is looking for Chanyuan celestials, not creating them. So, Lifechanyuan is the wonderland for resonant souls, a family full of harmony, auspiciousness, freedom, and happiness, a paradise for those who stick to Lifechanyuan values, a college to sublimate their quality of life and cultivate supernatural powers, and a transfer station for getting rid of worldly fetters and moving toward the thousand-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the Elysium Celestial Islands continent. Lifechanyuan is never a place to argue about the truth, an arena for fighting, a platform to show oneself off, a market to sell personal thought, an arena to present personal magic arts and skills, a Shanghai beach for gaining power, money, fame, or beauty, nor a classroom for showing one's knowledge and ability to teach other Chanyuan celestials and guests their lessons. It is by no means a place where some are drawn in to squeeze others out, that they might extend their own power. There is no room for discussing and debating here, but only for holding fast to Chanyuan values. If you do not agree with Chanyuan values, you should find a place where you can practice your debating skills. We will not let you talk here, not because we are too autocratic, but because you would be swimming against the tide. Disallowing the promotion of rat poison in a food store is not the fault of the store's manager, but that of the wholesaler for choosing to market it in the wrong place. There are only Chanyuan values in Lifechanyuan, no other thoughts should exist here. It is unworkable to publicize your own thoughts in Lifechanyuan because unless they are beyond those of Jesus, Sakyamuni, Lao Tzu, Muhammad, PBUH, Xiefeng, and Chanyuan Celestial, your thoughts are not worthy of our learning. You can say anything about praise, encouragement, reciprocal affection, truth, goodness, beauty, love, honesty, and trust freely. You can move freely and quickly on your thoughts of Chanyuan values. If you have any doubts about life, or time and space, do not be afraid to discuss them if you can. If you are in doubt, ask freely, but do not play with your own cleverness or you will be lifting a rock to drop on your own feet. No matter how many Chanyuan celestials we have, they are all as one person. Take a look at the first celestials in the early stage of Lifechanyuan, alphabetically. Sanhai Celestial, Dayform Celestial Asterisk, Foshan Celestial, Jiao Celestial, Penglai Celestial, Chanyuan Celestial, Taiji Celestial, Tianshan Celestial, Wanyin Celestial. They were as one person. Could we distinguish among them? These people never held discussion meetings, communicated in private, nor made any offensive or defensive alliances or agreements on offensive and defensive activities. They were not bound to each other and acted as they pleased, but what they did, thought, wished, acted, and presented, were as a single individual. Over the last few years, some people have fanned the flames and tried to divide and disintegrate them, but what has happened? They just swung their axes onto their own feet. Fortunately, this state has continuously fermented and expanded, followed by more and more Chanyuan celestials joining in. They are also like one person. In alphabetical order, they are Ailian Celestial, Songlong Celestial, Dongfang Celestial, Fahai Celestial, Fanqing Celestial, Huahui Celestial, Huixin Celestial, Huiying Celestial, Jingying Celestial, Lianxin Celestial, Lingfeng Celestial, Lingshao Celestial, Longgong Celestial, Mizong Celestial, Puji Celestial, Shenfo Celestial, Xingming Celestial, Shufo Celestial, Songbai Celestial, Tiangong Celestial, Tianji Celestial, Tianhe Celestial, Tianshi Celestial, Tongtian Celestial, Tongxin Celestial, Tongyuan Celestial, Wanjiang Celestial, Wanmin Celestial, Wushang Celestial, Xianzhe Celestial, Yiyun Celestial, Zhengjue Celestial. They are just like the formula 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1. These people can share difficulties, share weal and woe, live and die together, and always remain as close as any family. Is this not the factor of a great harmonious world? Is this not the dream of mankind? Is this not the result of practicing according to the teachings of Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad, pbuh? Is this not the epitome of the 1,000-year world and the 10,000-year world of heaven? Is this not the best human expectation? Of course it is. Are there conflicts among these people? Do they argue? Is there any intrigue? Is there any competition or jealousy? None at all. Some have suggested that Lifechanyuan has come to an end, however the fact is not that Lifechanyuan has come to an end, but that they have. Some have said that Chanyuan celestials are cheated by Xiefeng, however the fact is that they have been fooled by their petty tricks and short-sightedness because any Chanyuan celestial is hundreds if not thousands of times wiser than them. In today's internet arena with abundant information, who deceives people publicly? They should consider themselves. Some people try painstakingly to awaken Xiefeng and all the Chanyuan celestials, but they are in fact the ones who are sleeping lethargically, not us. How could they awaken anyone when they are the drowsy ones? They are blind with elusive thoughts and muddled and confused minds, but even if they could, to where would they go next and to where would they take the people who they awakened? Chanyuan celestials do not worship Xiefeng as a god, but respect him as an elder brother, as a close friend to whom one can open their heart and communicate with closely, as a friend who can be awakened in the middle of the night to share a drink, and as a playmate with whom you can flirt and tease and pull his nose and ears for entertainment. While those who are fettered by traditional thinking and shackled by religious doctrines raise Xiefeng to the rank of a god whom they can attack, this is of their own imagination. They imagine Xiefeng as a god, then they attack him like Don Quixote attacking the wind as his enemy. This is ridiculous. Worship and respect are not the same. If we take respect as worship, then there will be gods everywhere. It is only your false accusation that Xiefeng's ambition and behavior of initiating Lifechanyuan represents a desire to become some international overlord. One who resonates with Chanyuan values is a member of this home. You can play games, entertain, and travel throughout your lives together with other Chanyuan celestials. If you cannot resonate with Chanyuan values, then please find a place that you will like, stop indulging yourself in complaining about people in heaven here, stop moaning about being ill and saying that no one understands you in Lifechanyuan, and stop complaining to others. Lifechanyuan Overview. Dayform Buddha. Take a broad view and you will see faraway mountains are fresh and green. Stay and study in Lifechanyuan will a new life begin. You will see clear paradise scenes. Lifechanyuan is the home of spirit and mind, the habitat of the exhausted human life, the desert oasis for the ordinary, kind, honest, hardworking and intelligent people, the institute to understand the implication and significance of life and the transit station to the heaven. Lifechanyuan follows the path of the greatest creator, and the core value of Lifechanyuan is revere the greatest creator, revere life, revere nature and create Lifechanyuan era. When you feel exhausted, anxious and confused in this mortal life, you can take some time to Lifechanyuan to drink a cup of tea, take a rest, recover from fatigue state, chat, listen to other people's perception of life, and experience the quiet and peaceful atmosphere and find out whether there are indeed some unworldly higher beings. The universe has 36-dimensional space, and each space is a huge world, among which includes supreme level, middle level and lower level life space. Lifechanyuan will show you the secrets of different space levels and escort you to set foot on the super time and space road toward the beautiful, picturesque and fascinating 1,000-year world, 10,000-year world and Elysium world through its explanations on the universe, time and space. Human life is full of misfortune, pain, regret and frustration, worry and sadness has always tangled us. Many puzzling mysteries of human life make us feel contradictory, unpredictable situations and unexpected good or bad fortune make us anxious, undesirable and troublesome things often make us sleepless, disease and hunger often threatens us. From time to time the complicated and changeable interpersonal relationships entrap us into the painful abyss, the survival competition oppresses us and makes our exhausted body fall into the grief vortex one after another. Why is our life like this? Why are we always stuck in a dilemma hard to get out? Why can't we control the path of our own life? For thousands of years, the wise people have been working hard to seek the answers. The sages such as Jesus, Sakyamuni, Muhammad, Lao Tzu from one generation after another had paid their painstaking efforts for us. Marx, Lenin, Mao Zedong, Thomas Jefferson, Lincoln had worked so hard for us. All of them tried to create a peaceful world in which everyone is equal and happy. The great sages such as Moses, St. Paul, Mahavira, Zarathustra, Mani, Vardhamana, Dante, Seth had endured the hardships and advised us in earnest in order to lead us into a happy homeland. But the real answer seems to be still far away from us, and we still need to go a long journey, step by step, to approach the other side of truth. The development of science provides us with the keys to the door of truth. The great masters of science such as Einstein, Newton, Galileo, Faraday, Stephen Hawking had paved the steps for us to approach the door of truth. The great inventors such as Edison, Rockefeller, Henry Ford, Bill Gates had created the practical tools for us. The great masters such as Plato, Ibn Sina, Zhu Xi, Aristotle, René Descartes, Bacon, including Adam Smith, Rousseau, Voltaire, Malthus, Darwin, Freud had equipped us with necessary rational thinking tools. Now it is the time for us to carry on the past heritage and open up the future, to reform radically and absorb all the essence of human wisdom so as to create a new era. Lifechanyuan not only aims to solve the problems such as whether there is the greatest creator, the origin of life and universe, the inevitable and occasional, the problem of karma, the problem of past life and afterlife and the problem of whether there is God, Buddha, celestial being, but more importantly is to show everyone the optimal life, relieve pains in human life, guide everyone towards the supreme life space, so as to make life bloom forever with the beautiful flowers in the eternal time-space. The establishment of Lifechanyuan is an unprecedented huge project, in which dozens or hundreds of individuals are powerless, and a single nation or a country is far from competent, and the common wisdom and knowledge can barely do much about this issue. What we need are hundreds and thousands of people with the highest spirituality and wisdom from different nationalities to play the roles of leaders. I sincerely hope the secluded people in this world, religious figures, presidents, Nobel Prize winners, billionaires, scientists, entrepreneurs, literati, ordinary civil servants, teachers, workers, peasants, soldiers, businessmen, etc., including the homeless tramp will participate in this project, as long as you can explain any issue about the universe, time-space, human life etc., and no others can refute your theory, then you are eligible to be in the leadership of Lifechanyuan. Lifechanyuan does not belong to any country, any nation, any religion, any political party, group or individual, so it plans to set up branches worldwide. Lifechanyuan is not a religion, so there is no special ceremony and requirements. Lifechanyuan is not a company, so it will not involve any business activities aiming for profits. Lifechanyuan is not a political party, so it neither has a constitution nor participates in any political activities. People who participate in the leadership work of Lifechanyuan will not receive any material benefits. However, your great wisdom and virtue of selfless dedication will be honored and admired, and your name will be engraved on the milestone in Lifechanyuan to be remembered forever. The main contents of Lifechanyuan. Unconventional thinking, the greatest creator, time, space, and the universe, humanity and human life, physical and spiritual healthcare, revelations, self-improvement and self-cultivation, life's wisdom, preaching Tao, celestial cultivation, the attainment of Buddhahood, the non-material world, Lifechanyuan corpus, Chanyuan celestial corpus. Initial speech. A sailing boat loaded with new life is on sail, a new era is coming. We are in an era of global economy development, material prosperity, spiritual poverty and soul gloomy, an era focusing on pragmatic materialization, and an era of no belief. It is a glorious mission for each sage to cultivate conscience, educate people, plant civilization and enlighten minds. It is the call of the times to build a spiritual and psychical home worldwide. The greatest thought is the rational thinking, and the power of reason is the strongest ruling force for humankind. Comparing with the 36-dimensional space, our human beings are living in a very narrow world. It is necessary for us to tell those barbaric people the huge universal system, and it is also necessary for everybody to know the answer to the question, why should I be me? What do I live for? A great era needs to be guided by a great thought. Without a powerful spiritual support and a liberated soul, the economic development will only cause the widespread depravity and decadence of human being. We are enlightened by the rational thinking of sages in all ages, yet none of the past great men's thinking is able to meet the spiritual and psychical need of the people today. All religions have made indelible contributions to the development of human civilization. But each has its own time limitations and cannot serve as guidance for humankind today. If a theory or a thought exists for more than 1,000 years, and still cannot bring peace and stability to the world, nor bring happiness and joy to every life, then we have to be skeptical about this. If a theory, or a thought, is not accepted by people willingly, instead, if it is accepted in a fog either by using state machinery, or some kind of forces or institution, or in seditious, abetting, or deceptive ways, or through material temptations, promising people with a better future but unable to make it clear what kind of scenario it is, we have to think about these deeply. If a theory, or thought, cannot make people enjoy the joyous of this present life, rather, believes that only sufferings can ensure the otherworldly well-being, then this theory either is used as a deception, or it is immoral. Before everything is clarified, we must first believe in science, be practical, realistic, and believe in logics. We believe that only those who stand on the peak of science are people closest to the truth. It cannot be denied that, the great souls are beyond science, time and space. Their thoughts cannot be generally accepted by ordinary people, and this is why the great souls are lamentable and lonely. If the great souls cannot bring actual happiness and hope for the future, then they are worthless. Lifechanyuan is a place gathered with great souls. Great souls do not come from the low-level life space, and neither from the middle-level life space, but from the supreme-level life space. As early as before World War I, nearly 10,000 advanced souls, the great souls, have descended from the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and Elysium world. Today, in the name of Lifechanyuan, I was permitted to come here to summon you, the great souls. I wish to tell you, your presence in the man's world is not to enjoy the happiness, rather you are to explain the secrets of the universe and the meaning of life, to save the suffering people in the world, and to let people enjoy worldly happiness and joy generation after generation. You have to call an end to your transmigration in the man's world, because after 3 times of transmigration, you will get your nature lost and you will never find the road to home. You should try to remember the missions given to you in heaven before you left for man's world. You should know clearly that, the greatest creator loves human beings, cares for human beings. Mankind must be saved from catastrophe before material prosperity and moral degradation, in order to avoid the tragedy of flood in Noah's times. When people have no fear of force, then, as is the common practice, great force descends, people have to know what it implies. Henry Van Dyke, an American author, educator, poet, playwright, and clergyman, once said, "Men of privilege without power are waste material. Men of enlightenment without influence are the poorest kind of rubbish. Men of intellectual and moral and religious culture, who are not active forces for good in society, are not worth what is a cost to produce and keep them." You are great souls with great thoughts. If you are a president, you are not a great soul if you only consider the benefits of your own political party, group, and even personal interests, rather than the benefits of all people. If you receive tertiary or above education, but you focus only on personal gain and live without serious ambition instead of serving the human world with your knowledge, you are not a great soul. If you have gained wealth from the world but never thought of paying back to the world, you're just a poor soul. If you are a government officer, but you only care how to get promotion and rich, or make your ancestors illustrious, rather than bringing benefits to the ordinary people, you're also just a poor soul. If you have made some achievements and stopped to make advancement, leading a befuddled life and intoxicating yourself in sensual pleasures, you are not a great soul either. The great souls will be brought to the supreme level life space and the inferior souls will be thrown into the low-level life. Nobody is willing to display the excrement in the toilet in the living room and put the good wine and dainty dishes into the toilet. This is established among human beings, let alone the order of the greatest Creator. Only when people around him are happier than himself can the great soul find peace in mind. Only when we selflessly devote our wisdom to human society can our souls be eligible to enter the supreme life space. Take a broad view and you will see faraway mountains are fresh and green. You must open the window of the soul, and look into the future. For thousands of years, humans have been groping forward and have lost themselves, without knowing there are mountains outside mountains and there are spaces outside spaces, suffering unnecessary grief and sorrows and not knowing the secret of life. Innumerable kind people are trampling the life of themselves and even others, not revering the greatest Creator. Innumerable people can only repeated transmigration in middle or lower level of life or have to follow the wrong guidance blindly. Because of the absence of a great wisdom. Few people ever ask themselves, why should I be busy as a bee all day long? Does it have anything to do with the meaning of my life? What's the difference between me and a rushing ant? People who are living by instinct, fame, and emotional life can only repeat their mistakes, falling into the same old trap forever. The frog at the bottom of the well always regards its place as the ocean and its vision as the entire blue sky. People who are living the intellectual life can enjoy thousands of rivers and mountains. But people who are living the spiritual life can travel through constraints of time and space and appreciate the charming and infinite scenery in the vast expanse of the universe. So please do not lead a fuddled life in the middle or lower space. Do not fight, kill, plunder or rob in the secular perplexities. Do not moan and groan in the vortex of thinking. Do not continue to destroy lives by ultimately harming yourself. The boat of Lifechanyuan will be fully loaded with people with wisdom and spiritual nature for the sea of truth, to enjoy the real pleasure of life. The greatest Creator is impartial, because he has strictly arranged the program for where they should base on their conducts in man's world. Those with superior spiritual nature will go to the supreme life space and the less superior spiritual nature will have to go to the lower life space. Tao is impartial, because it has recorded every conduct of people. All those who want to act in accordance with the law of the greatest Creator and those who want to pursue the truth, please dedicate your talents and wisdoms. Please be a member of the sages in Lifechanyuan. If you think you can be a sage, please come and be invisible saint and visible saint in Lifechanyuan. If you think you are able to take the position of space master, please come and be one bravely. If you are able to undertake the missions as a light messenger, then be one. If you are able to lead Lifechanyuan, why don't you give a try? If you have possessed excellent morality, then try to be Chanyuan celestial. Do not moan or groan on the injustice around you. Do not let your wisdom and intelligence quench slowly. Do not think yourself a failure. Do not stay at home and endure those stupid scolding. Lifechanyuan is an entirety, it will make your life send out colorful aura, and at that time, you will find that you are not the man that you imagined before. As long as you strive for these, you will win the favor from the greatest Creator and people. The boat of new life is launching. All those who are willing to follow Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Lao Tzu and other saints and sages, all those who are willing to explore the profound mystery of time and space, all those who want to go to the supreme life space, all those who possess the ability of telepathy, please come on board. Lifechanyuan is bound to bring you to a boundless and marvelous place in which you will have infinite yearning in your dream, a place beyond your imagination and never heard of, where you will be happy, excited, and relaxed, and a place to entrust your life. The greatest Creator is with me, and the greatest Creator will be with you. You get peaceful mind through mediation under moonlight. You will find the truth in Lifechanyuan after the long journey of life. Lifechanyuan Scripture for Surviving Calamities. Xiefeng. August 8, 2024. Translation edited by Chinyu. Heavy rains fall one after another, floods rise to overwhelming levels, crops fail, and hunger looms near. Heat waves surge higher and higher, scorching heat presses down, body and mind are tormented, and fires rage nearby. Waves of epidemic strike one after another, coming in relentless succession, impossible to defend against, and death calls. Earthquakes rumble one after another, stirring the seas, coastlines suffer, and lowlands turn into oceans. Social unrest spreads, global chaos erupts, war clouds gather densely, and there is nowhere to hide. Rumors fly everywhere, deceit runs rampant, trust is gone, and all defenses seem futile. Disaster strikes suddenly, darkness comes uninvited, and all wisdom seems like fleeting clouds, countless plans fall short. This is humanity's calamity, how should we survive it? Light the divine lamp in your heart, and let the Creator steady your mind and spirit. Harbor no resentment, no worry, no fear, and trust firmly in the justice of the Tao. Pray, repent, and cultivate yourself, commit no evil, and do all good. Revere the greatest Creator, revere life, and follow the way of nature. Entrust your life to the greatest Creator, let the Tao guide your life, and live each day with romance and optimism. Adapt to circumstances, flow with the changes of fate, act with your nature, and respond to situations as they arise. Avoid greed for bargains, do not follow the crowd, and store some food and medicine. Gather often with a few close friends, supporting each other in body and mind. Lifechanyuan's attitudes toward the bourgeoisie. Xiefeng. November 7, 2007. Without the bourgeoisie, there would not be progress and development of mankind. Without the bourgeoisie, there would not be abundant commodity and lifestyle, so, the bourgeoisie should be respected and protected. The private property should not be violated and deprived at someone's option, and private house should not be intruded and disturbed at random. The bourgeoisie is a stratum of hard-working, more diligent and more creative than the proletariat. They contributed much more to society than the proletariat. The process of creating and accumulating wealth is very hard, and one needs to work from dawn to night, to exert all his strengths and wisdoms, to take risks and to work hard. The hopes for the bourgeoisie are, don't oppress and exploit the employees working for you, pay salary on time according to the legal limit of government, ensure their basic living safeguard, cultivation, and further study, as well as their rights and interests of participating social activities, do not make a fortune through polluting and destroying nature, do not excessively lift up your horn and make widely known, do not be over-extravagant to arouse others' envy and resentment. You can fully enjoy the material life but do not waste and squander. You also need to give hopes and means of subsistence to the proletarian when you are better off. 1/10 of your income should be taken out to reward the society. In this way, the bourgeoisie can exist for a long time and enjoy the everlasting prosperity, otherwise, it will strengthen the turbulence of the society. Lifechanyuan's New Year's Day Message, 2006. Xiefeng. December 31, 2005. People are marching rapidly and disasters are associated closely with us. We will enter into the year of 2013 in 7 years, it is time to wake up. Tsunamis, earthquakes, hurricanes, and blizzards, mingled with the bird flu and overflowing rivers are shaking the earth, and an even larger storm will arrive soon. Oh, poor humans! When will you find time to face the greatest Creator and pray to Him to relieve us from these disasters? People, you can outsmart neither the greatest Creator nor death, so you should stop being arrogant and blind. Even if you launched tens of thousands of spacecrafts to monitor nature's changes, and even if all of your 6.5 billion people fought together, you could still not escape this punishment due to your reckless wrongdoings toward nature. I called upon you on New Year's Day last year but you heeded none of my advice. I am afraid that now it is too late to rein in the precipice. You have been blinded by your self-righteous science and have rested your future on overconfidence. Think it over again. Can you withstand the shaking of mountains? Can you endure the hard times when the sun and moon are not shining? Why can you not pause to look, listen, and think? You should have given first priority to your overall situation, attached necessary importance to everyone's benefits, and known that when nests are overturned, no eggs remain unbroken. Earthworms digging holes in the soil in Japan can cause earthquakes in Europe, and smoke in Madagascar can cause droughts in the Americas. Give up your narrow interests of nationalism, religion, politics, families, and wild ambitions of personal dominance. Instead, pray for mankind and devote your talents and wisdom to everyone's interests. You have painted yourselves into a desperate corner. Everything except for bread, shelter, and clothing is extravagance. Your extra enjoyment depends on the gifts and nursing of Mother Nature. If her blood is drained by you, then how can you survive? You are always hurrying and bustling up blindly. Where on earth are you going? Develop. Speed up. Develop. Speed up. Will the sun not rise tomorrow? Do you really have the ability to settle on Mars? What have the heads of the United Nations and national governments figured out so far? Do they really have the ability to stop these destructive attacks? What do the religious leaders of Christianity, Buddhism, and Islam understand? Do they think there are no problems with their doctrines? Do their religious doctrines never conflict with each other? If they are all correct, then why do they contradict each other? Since there are contradictions, how can any of them be totally correct? Old consciousnesses cannot adapt to the changing new era, just as old leather bags cannot hold fresh wine. While sticking to your own opinions, can you change your thinking and sit calmly to discuss the common future of mankind? Give everyone a way to live. Do not hold up a piece of gold for millions of people to fight for. On basketball courts, a dozen players must fight over one ball, but in real life you cannot just issue one basketball for everyone. That kind of thinking will only cause suffering and misfortune and lead to disaster and destruction. More than 6 billion people are living in various crises, and the only way to resolve them is from our hearts. There is no other way. The birth of Lifechanyuan is by no means accidental. Not only is it the inevitable development of human civilization, but it is also the arrangement of the greatest creator. What Lifechanyuan does is to spread the wisdom of the greatest creator and that knowledge to save mankind. It is never intended to seize the rights of any country, political system, or religion. Lifechanyuan is not vulgar and low. Now, Lifechanyuan is the only hope to resolve the contradictions and crises of mankind. With the approaching new year, I hope that various governments and religious groups can accept the values of Lifechanyuan with open minds and revere the greatest creator, life, and nature in a humble manner, and follow the way of the greatest creator. In this way, the greatest creator might give us a way out and mankind might still have a glimmer of hope through which to escape the disasters. After 2013, mankind will enter the Lifechanyuan era, and I hope that more will join us. It would be best if all 6.5 billion people would enter the Lifechanyuan era. The direction is clear. Where do you go? Make your own choice. May everyone have a bright future. Lifechanyuan's standpoint on homosexuality. December 13, 2006. Deiform Buddha. Homosexuality is not something new and has been there since ancient times. Different people have different attitudes toward it. However, it is generally repulsive, whether from religious doctrines or the common moral judgments. Lifechanyuan's attitudes toward homosexuality are non-excluding, non-discrimination, non-encouragement, and non-support. Religionist, socialist, psychologist, psychiatrist, and sexologist all participate in the discussion about homosexuality phenomenon. However, they seldom provide a proper solution. I will start by asking the question, how does homosexuality occur? The major cause of homosexuality is society. At early youth of adolescent development, everybody wishes to explore the mystery of sex. However, the society detests the intimate sex relationships between teenagers of different sex, so they tend to draw closer to the same sex which is acceptable by both the society and parents. So homosexuality tendency easily occurs in early youth. In this sense, everybody is homosexual. But as they grow up, most people fall in love and get along with opposite sex, get married and live a normal life. Due to the restriction of kinds of objective factors, a small group of people have not found the channels to release their love and sex to opposite sex timely, so they finally move towards homosexuality. Homosexual is not an evil, but a kind of confusion to love and sex. It is an abnormal lifestyle. Lifechanyuan reveres to life, so we love homosexual same as we love all other people, animals and plants. We do not discriminate homosexual, regarding them as ugly or shame, surely neither nobler than others. Generally speaking, no matter they are of same sex and opposite sex, as long as they love each other and bring no harm to society, they are free. Homosexuals are entitled to live the lifestyle they like and should not be blamed or punished. As long as they live a joyful and happy life, we have no authority to condemn and embarrass them. However, from the perspective of self-improvement and self-refinement and the desire of being a celestial, homosexual is a wrong tendency. Both yin and yang construct Tao, short of one of them is a disease. Yin and yang exist harmoniously, that is Tao. Homosexual is against the principle of Tao, also against the original intention of the greatest creator. The greatest creator create male and female, keep the proportion in scope of 5:1 and 4:9, and the greatest creator made people live a life of heterosexual rather than homosexual. Homosexual, adultery, prostitution, incest and having sex intercourse with animals are improper phenomena, and the appearance of these phenomena is resulted from society and incorrect concept of love and sex. Love and sex are precious gifts that the greatest creator bestows to human being. To enjoy love and sex is a God-given right for human beings. But human beings set up a lot of difficulties to have love and sex. Especially the marriage life, it restrains love and sex into a limited domain, waste lots of love and sex resources, make many people can't meet their love and sex requirement, enforce people into homosexual, prostitution, adultery, and even having sex with animal. 3 realms rely on heart, myriad principles rely on consciousness. All words and deeds are controlled by consciousness. Homosexual is a long-time psychological habit. As long as we deepen understanding and shape our thinking, a homosexual will turn into heterosexual. Of course, it needs the cooperation of the whole society to provide a relaxed environment for love and sex. Lifechanyuan's attitudes toward love and sex and its analysis of the era of Lifechanyuan are to create a harmonious, comfortable and free environment for humankinds. Only when we get into the Lifechanyuan era, the phenomena of homosexual, adultery, prostitution, incest and having sex with animal can disappear forever, people can enjoy normal love and sex life sufficiently. We must realize homosexual is abnormal, both physical and mental. It violates the character of Tao and the will of the greatest creator. Only when we realize it is an illness, we can find the proper way to cure it. I wish all homosexuals get into Lifechanyuan. In Lifechanyuan, we love you and treat you equally without any discrimination. We work together to adjust our thinking and values in a silently and unconsciously manner. We make our speeches and actions fit the greatest creator's Tao unconsciously to achieve celestial quality. We will enjoy life in heaven, 1,000-year world, 10,000-year world, Elysium world and celestial islands continent after we leave the man's world. Extend our sympathy and best wishes to all homosexuals. Lifechanyuan's viewpoint on emotional love and romantic love. Dayform Celestial. October 31, 2006. Lifechanyuan's viewpoint on emotional and romantic love is based on the greatest creator's structural settings and spiritual consolation plan for the human body's physiological structure and is based on the demands of heavenly life so that people can self-refine and self-improve themselves until they finally reach the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, or the Elysium celestial islands continent. The greatest creator produces everything from sunshine, air, water, salt, mountains and rivers, plants and insects, and beasts and birds, to our eyes, ears, noses, tongues, bodies, 5 visceral senses and 6 entrails, 4 limbs and hair, and all the rest. All these things represent the greatest creator's blessings and its love of humans. To enjoy these blessings is to love the greatest creator. Only those who understand this truth and enjoy this love fully can be grateful to the greatest creator and can walk on its way. What are the most wonderful things in your life? What are the most fascinating and unforgettable things in your life? They are emotional and romantic love. How did you feel about your first love, when you held hands with a member of the opposite sex for the first time, kissed for the first time, were embraced in his or her arms for the first time, made love for the first time, and experienced your first orgasm with them? How do you feel when you are passionately in love? How do you feel when you admire and miss somebody? How do you feel about yearning for the opposite sex? How does it feel when your lover comes to your side when you are in distress? One night couple, 100 days grace. Why? Why are people willing to die for love? Why do they risk being rejected and losing their life for romantic love? It is not difficult for a person who is physically and emotionally normal to feel the wonder and beauty of emotional and romantic love. Experts have written many articles and books on the structures and functions of male and female genitalia and have also written countless ones on the roles and influences of sexual psychology and emotional and romantic love on human spirits and psychology. Even if you have not read any of them, almost all adults have sampled it personally. Is it not wonderful? Have you not felt comfort and ecstasy brought to you physically and psychologically? Emotional and romantic love are gracious gifts that the greatest creator has bestowed upon humankind. They are the most precious experiences and enjoyments in life. To enjoy emotional and romantic love fully is in line with the will of the greatest creator is not shameful or immoral, but fair and open. They are the worthiest of ideals for which to yearn and pursue. For thousands of years, people have been ambiguous and secretive toward emotional and romantic love, still holds partly concealed, sanctimonious and hypocritical, created countless injustices, and set up layers of barriers and obstacles. The reasons for these are complex and multifaceted, but the main ones are nothing more than these 8. In order to maintain social stability, authorities feel that they need to sacrifice and suppress people. In order to protect the masks of the saints, feudal elders had deliberately raised children to elevate romantic love to a moral height that would frighten anyone. Like giving up eating for fear of choking, people who have suffered on their road to romantic love have instigated the general public to abandon it. In order to deceive the public, powerful people who have enjoyed romantic love have tried to spread deceptions and lies in order to cover up the truth, like people finding gold mines and becoming afraid of losing their exclusive rights to them. Poor people who could not get grapes told people that they were sour because they did not want others to have what they could not get for themselves. People who are physically and mentally unhealthy discredit and demote romantic love unconsciously because they have never been able to enjoy normal loving relationships. Private ownership is a psychological cause. People deliberately exaggerate the facts and set up numerous obstacles artificially for fear that they might lose, their spouses or their children might get hurt because of them. Specific unhealthy relationships bring such terrible impressions to society, families, and individuals, that many people would rather bear simple diets than enjoy the delicacies they offer. Now is the time to correct people's distorted understandings of emotional and romantic love. If we cannot solve this problem well, then people will remain ugly, hypocritical, chaotic, and immoral. Lifechanyuan values tell us that everyone is independent and has independent will. No one should impose theirs on others nor deprive them of their qualification and rights to enjoy emotional and romantic love. As long as they are consensual and do not violate ethics or harm public civilization and order, they should be allowed to do whatever they want. You can enjoy unmarried life, but you have no right to restrict others from getting married. You like monogamy, but you are not qualified to oppose polygamy or polyandry. You can enjoy celibacy, but you cannot prevent others from getting married. The patterns of emotional and romantic love are colorful and multifarious. Which pattern you choose is your personal affair, everyone has the right to choose what is most suitable for them. Looking at Chanyuan celestials through money. Xiefeng. September 28, 2023. Translation edited by Chinyu. Over the past 16 years, Lifechanyuan has established 21 picturesque communities in Zimbabwe, China, Thailand, South Korea, and Canada, with a total turnover of several tens of millions. But not a single person has embezzled or misappropriated these funds. Faced with money, every Chanyuan celestial maintains a pure and honest approach. In 2012, when I left the third branch, I left 1,000 yuan in my bedroom drawer. I informed over 30 Chanyuan celestials in the third branch that whoever needed money could take it without seeking permission or reporting to anyone. Take as much as you need, and if it's not enough, I'll supplement it. 6 months later, upon my return from the fourth branch to the third branch, upon opening the drawer, only 96 yuan was taken, and the remaining 904 yuan was untouched. Starting in 2021, Lifechanyuan began providing a monthly living allowance of 1,500 yuan to a dozen elderly or physically frail Chanyuan celestial. After a year and a half, except for 2 or 3 individuals who genuinely needed this money, the rest didn't touch the monthly allowance, returning it intact to the community. For a period, there were 3 million yuan in the community's account. I suggested hiding the wealth among the people, and everyone was invited to sign up. 20 people registered, and we promptly transferred 50,000 yuan to each person. Today, when I mentioned that we need funds to purchase a farm in Canada, everyone swiftly transferred their 50,000 yuan back to the community's account. Through these 3 examples, I want to inform the world that in the face of money, Chanyuan members remain unmoved. This is one of the main reasons why the Chanyuan communities, established successively 21 communities over the past 16 years, have remained vibrant and full of vitality. I wonder, over these 16 years and the creation of 21 communities, where money has been used in countless ways, many Chanyuan members have handled money directly. Yet, not a single cent of the community's funds has been misused, misappropriated, or embezzled. So, tell me, what kind of people are the Chanyuan celestials? Are the Chanyuan celestials foolish? Lifechanyuan's view of affectionate love. Love is a precious gift bestowed upon humankind by the greatest creator. Xiefeng. December 16, 2005. Nature is beautiful and pleasing to the eye and heart with all of its rich colors. Human life lingers and is sentimental because of affectionate love. Without color, nature would be dull and boring. Without affectionate love, human life would be the same. What is affectionate love and why are people willing to die for it? It was written that a British prince loved beauty more than power. In The Butterfly Lovers, Liang Shanhua jumped into Zhu Yingtai's grave without hesitation. Romeo sang the nightingale song under Juliet's window every night. Many European musicians and artists and some great Russian writers created enduring masterpieces after they had been inspired by the love in their hearts. In the fairy tale, Prince Charming inspired innumerable girls' beautiful dreams of their futures. The seventh fairy maiden descended down into the mortal world to love and marry Dong Yong. The jade hare did the same from the moon in order to enjoy a good marriage. The beautiful courtesan Du Shenyang tossed her precious jewel box into a river when she lost her lover. Ying risked everything by daring to love Zhang the scholar. A maiden from an official family surrendered her comfortable lifestyle for love when young married women complained about their sheltered lives. Gifted youth dueled and died for the love, which often brought the heroes to tears. Love has made countless men and women bow in homage when they would rather die than live without it. White snakes, green snakes, foxes, and spiders who had practiced for thousands of years and achieved excellent practice also tried to escape the chasing of Fa high masters, Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, and Taoist priests to enjoy passionate relationships with handsome young men in the mortal world. Love makes people toss and turn in bed, it makes us unable to fall asleep and gives us the strength to search for our lovers across many thousands of miles, it makes us pine away for many days and suffer regrets for the rest of our lives, it even makes many of us surrender our precious lives. Affectionate love is a precious gift bestowed upon humankind by the greatest Creator. Jesus and Sakyamuni are our two bright lights on our way to happy lives. In our hearts, they are the most respected of mortals, but one is God while the other is Buddha, so we cannot use their standards to demand anything from people because that would deviate completely from the greatest Creator's original intention. The greatest Creator designed sexual organs for people to enjoy. Physical contact raises our passions while orgasms bring us to ecstasy. Missing our lovers leaves us depressed and lazy, but seeing them elevates us unable to think straight, speeds our metabolisms, and flushes our faces. Is this not all beautiful? Is it necessary for us to set up barriers, obstacles, and difficulties which prevent people from loving each other sincerely? The suppression and obstruction of love destroys human nature and rebels against the greatest Creator. Someone once said, "Life is precious, love is expensive, but both can be dethroned for freedom," so my question becomes, what is the use of freedom once you have abandoned life and love? Chairman Mao was a great man whom I admire dearly, but during his era, the repression of love was extreme. Not only did he suppress young people's innocent yearnings for love, but he also destroyed the most splendid time for love in human nature and directly distorted its most beautiful and normal psychological state. The memorial archway for chastity is still constraining people's normal psychological state, which was given to us by the greatest Creator and is a defilement of human nature. I hope that people can reflect on the culture of affectionate love calmly and rationally, including the religious teachings on affectionate love. First, lower the standards and consider affectionate love from a human level instead of elevating ourselves by applying those divine standards of godhood and Buddhahood. In other words, we can only play human roles well by conforming to the original intentions of the greatest Creator from when humans were created. Only this will prepare us to enjoy the life in higher level spaces that the greatest Creator has established for us. Without passionate love lives, we can scarcely feel the great love of the greatest Creator for mankind and can hardly understand its will. Therefore, anyone who rejects affectionate love is rejecting the greatest Creator and violating its will. Lifechanyuan advocates monogamous, lifelong love from childhood to old age, because this is the noblest, purest, most beautiful, and most stable love life for us. I hope everyone in the world can enjoy this kind of love life. Lifechanyuan opposes prostitution and whoring, because they corrupt affectionate loving relationships. They are only commodity exchanges, low-level, taste-based physical desires. They have absolutely nothing to do with affectionate love. If prostitution and whoring were rampant, the ancient tragedy of Rome would surely befall our society. In order to rectify the root, clear up the source, promote humanity, reduce tragedies, and reward true love, Lifechanyuan puts forward the following views on love. Love ethics. Love ethics refers to the order of seniority in the family hierarchy which is linked by kinship. For example, let us consider two brothers in which the older one marries woman A. If the younger one later married A's niece, it would violate ethics, because there would be a confusion of relationships. Should A's niece call the older brother's wife her aunt or her sister-in-law? In another example, if a woman's father-in-law has an affair with her sister, that would also violate ethics because there would be confusion in addressing the woman's sister. Would she call her sister's father-in-law, her uncle or her brother? A third example would be if the younger brother were to marry his brother's mother-in-law's sister. This would violate ethics in that it would be against Chinese traditional family tree structures because it is inappropriate for the older brother to call his brother's mother-in-law's sister his sister-in-law or call his brother's wife his auntie. In conclusion, if love happens between relatives, they can be considered to have respected relational ethics as long as their addresses are consistent. Otherwise, they would violate those ethics whether such relationship is near or far. Love between brothers and sisters would also be against ethics because it is inappropriate for anyone to identify their sibling as their spouse. If you violate love's ethics, you violate human principles, and if you violate human principles, then how can you be considered to be human? Love civilization. Love civilization refers to the behavior of expressing love which must be proper in time and location and cannot happen at just any occasion or it would violate love civilization. For example, in public places, there are people of different generations, such as mothers with sons, fathers with daughters, aunts with nephews, fathers-in-law with sons-in-law, and grandmothers with grandsons. In these cases, if someone were to hug and kiss their lover passionately and behave intimately, they would be violating love civilization, because expressing intimacy in front of older or younger people is also against love civilization, and those who violate love civilization can only be thought of as being subhuman beasts because they should know better. Love age. Affectionate love refers to the love between people who can have physical relationships with mutual affection. It refers exclusively to those between adults and excludes all minors. Taking into account factors such as physical, emotional, and intellectual development, and the impact on their future lives, the occurrence of love behavior between an adult and anyone considered to be under the age of maturity or the age of consent violates the love age. For whatever reason, the adult's behavior is criminal deception. As for the innocent love between young boys and girls, they are normal physiological and psychological phenomena should never be fussed over. Love relationships. Where love ethics, civilization, and age are not violated, and no other transaction-oriented principles are violated, the affection and attraction between people is called a love relationship. They are in line with human nature, and with the greatest Creator's intention to procreate humans. Love relationships have nothing to do with age. Within the love age, 20-year-olds and 80-year-olds can enjoy so-called spring-fall relationships as they do not violate love ethics. Love diversity. People in human societies are different from each other. Some are enthusiastic while others are cold, some are omnivorous while others impose moral dietary restrictions, some are powerless while others are energetic. Therefore, it is impossible to formulate standard and universal rules for love relationships. They are unique and personal. Lifelong monogamy is good, but changing lovers is also good. Remaining single and loving many at one time are both good. As long as the lovers are willing and are in line with human nature, others have no right to interfere. Love morality. Love relationships established on the basis of not harming other people's love defines love morality. This is really a tricky problem which we shall illustrate with the famous novel from the Song dynasty, Water Margin, on the relationship of Wu Dalong, his wife Pan Jinlian, and her lover, Shimin Qing. From the perspective of traditional morality, Pan should have been faithful to Wu throughout her life, and her love affair with Shimin was against the traditional doctrine for a married woman because she should not have become involved with another man, but from the point of view of human nature, it was too cruel for Pan because her faith met Wu's satisfaction at the cost of her own feelings. So, what should she have done? Could she have been satisfied with her husband throughout her life? It is too cruel for a physically and psychologically healthy woman with unfulfilled emotional needs to be loyal to a husband who was unable to meet her sexual needs, let alone to satisfy her emotional needs. So, the love relationship between Pan and Shimin was reasonable and she had the right to pursue it, but the situation was different for Shimin because his behavior would hurt the love relationship between Pan and Wu, and it was contrary to love morality. Therefore, tragedy was inevitable because in this story, Pan was the victim of Shimin's desire. Wu's behavior is also against love morality because his relationship with Pan hurt Pan and Shimin's love, so he should bear some responsibility. However, it is easy to condemn Shimin while it is more difficult to condemn Wu, because even though the love relationship between Wu and Pan pre-existed that of Pan and Shimin, Shimin's social standing was stronger than Wu's, and offering sympathy to the weak is a human duty. Without sympathy for the weak, would human society not become like the animal world? So, what should one do in Wu's or Pan's position? If we consider that since Wu had already established a marital relationship with Pan, then she should not have entered into a love relationship with Shimin, or at least she should have terminated it immediately and restrained and suppressed herself. Some would say that Wu needed care because without Pan, he might have remained a bachelor throughout his life. For that, I would hope that some moralist would be willing to persuade his daughter or sister to marry Wu. It would be perfect and would be worthy of our praise, not. We must consider both Wu and Pan because we are people with human natures. We can neither allow the strong to bully the weak nor the weak to bully the strong, nor can we destroy human nature in order to take care of either. How do we deal with this public case? Should Pan have suffered all her life? Definitely not. We must save Pan from her jail. Should Wu endure humiliation and be helpless all of his? Of course not. Human society should build a world where everyone can be happy and free. Wu and Pan became both each other's freedom and their tragedy, so how could we have made both of them free but not tragic? Encourage Pan to divorce? Wu was too pitiful. Pan elopes with Shimin. She could not have afforded the crime of bigamy, and Wu's fate would have been more miserable. The only solution would have been an emancipation of their minds. Pan should have opened up to Wu and told him what she wanted, needed, and felt. Wu should have had a clear understanding about his inability, and he should have loved Pan and understood her situation. An agreement could have been reached in which Pan would have been allowed to enjoy wild fruit appropriately, in order to make up for Wu's inadequacy, on the condition that Pan continues to perform her wifely duties for Wu. As Shimin was very wealthy, he should have known that if he wanted to maintain his stable love relationship with Pan, then he needed to be fair to Wu and bring him no harm. He might have chosen to take care of Wu's life. If the three people in this story had agreed to such an arrangement, they could have lived in peace and Pan would have been satisfied both physically and emotionally. As the love relationships between Wu, Pan, and Shimin would not have been based on hurting each other's relationships, this would not have violated love's morality. It would have been fine if Wu would have agreed to divorce Pan, but if he chose neither to divorce her nor to accept the above suggestion, he would have ended up with nothing in his life. Suppressing of Pan Jinlian's human nature is discouraged strongly in Lifechanyuan. On the other hand, if Shimin had also accepted the above suggestion, everything would have been fine, but if not, and he had acted as he pleased because of his wealth, he might have been charged with a crime or even been killed by Wu Dalong's younger brother, Wu Song. My dear friend, do you have any alternative suggestions to raise for discussion? Every individual is different and no one wears anyone else's shoes, so we should set moral rules based on human nature which should apply to everyone, whether they are poor or rich, weak or strong, in the minority or in the majority. Most Chinese people are atheistic and materialistic. According to their point of view, there are no previous or future lives in any sense, and our deaths are like lamps going out, so since we can only enjoy one life, we should live it to our fullest. No matter how beautiful the reason might be, there should be no sacrifice of human nature, and one of the most magnificent aspects of human nature is love. Deprivation of human nature occurred during the Middle Ages in Europe and in feudal society in China. Those shop-worn scholars who assumed to be moralists, those well-fed and prosperous high officials and noble lords, and those churchmen who did not know the real truth of the universe never thought about the emancipation of human nature, especially the human nature of ordinary people. Those young people who played their youths away in anticipation for following their outmoded conventions and customs, and some ignorant old people too, made no efforts to loosen the shackles on later generations. Whenever any love disputes occurred, their reply would be to endure it as we have done throughout our lives. You see how we survived, you will do the same. What did you say? You should just shut up. You men wore 2 pigtails, you women wrapped your feet, must our young generation do the same? A fox without its tail is not a good fox, and a life without love is not a good life. People should not only live for survival but for life. Love morality goes like this: as long as love does not bring harm to others, it is moral. Let us analyze several cases and phenomena according to love ethics, love civilization, proper age for love, love relationship, love diversity, and love morality. Mr. Yang Zhening and Ms. Wang Fan's love. Mr. Yang was a mature 82 years old while Ms. Wang was only 28 years old when they got married. Is there any problem with their love? However, it is easy to condemn Shimin while it is more difficult to condemn Wu, because even though the love relationship between Wu and Pan pre-existed that of Pan and Shimin, Shimin's social standing was stronger than Wu's, and offering sympathy to the weak is a human duty. Without sympathy for the weak, would human society not become like the animal world? So, what should one do in Wu's or Pan's position? If we consider that since Wu had already established a marital relationship with Pan, then she should not have entered into a love relationship with Shimin, or at least she should have terminated it immediately and restrained and suppressed herself. Some would say that Wu needed care because without Pan, he might have remained a bachelor throughout his life. For that, I would hope that some moralist would be willing to persuade his daughter or sister to marry Wu. It would be perfect and would be worthy of our praise, not. We must consider both Wu and Pan because we are people with human natures. We can neither allow the strong to bully the weak nor the weak to bully the strong, nor can we destroy human nature in order to take care of either. How do we deal with this public case? Should Pan have suffered all her life? Definitely not. We must save Pan from her jail. Should Wu endure humiliation and be helpless all of his? Of course not. Human society should build a world where everyone can be happy and free. Wu and Pan became both each other's freedom and their tragedy, so how could we have made both of them free but not tragic? Encourage Pan to divorce. Wu was too pitiful. Pan elopes with Lifechanyuan. She could not have afforded the crime of bigamy and Wu's fate would have been more miserable. The only solution would have been an emancipation of their minds. Pan should have opened up to Wu and told him what she wanted, needed, and felt. Wu should have had a clear understanding about his inability and he should have loved Pan and understood her situation. An agreement could have been reached in which Pan would have been allowed to enjoy wild fruit appropriately, in order to make up for Wu's inadequacy on the condition that Pan continues to perform her wifely duties for Wu. As Lifechanyuan was very wealthy, he should have known that if he wanted to maintain his stable love relationship with Pan, then he needed to be fair to Wu and bring him no harm. He might have chosen to take care of Wu's life. If the three people in this story had agreed to such an arrangement, they could have lived in peace and Pan would have been satisfied both physically and emotionally. As the love relationships between Wu, Pan, and Lifechanyuan would not have been based on hurting each other's relationships, this would not have violated love's morality. It would have been fine if Wu would have agreed to divorce Pan, but if he chose neither to divorce her nor to accept the above suggestion, he would have ended up with nothing in his life. Suppressing of Pan Jinlian's human nature is discouraged strongly in Lifechanyuan. On the other hand, if Lifechanyuan had also accepted the above suggestion, everything would have been fine, but if not, and he had acted as he pleased because of his wealth, he might have been charged with a crime or even been killed by Wu Dalong's younger brother, Wu Song. My dear friend, do you have any alternative suggestions to raise for discussion? Every individual is different and no one wears anyone else's shoes, so we should set moral rules based on human nature which should apply to everyone, whether they are poor or rich, weak or strong, in the minority or in the majority. Most Chinese people are atheistic and materialistic. According to their point of view, there are no previous or future lives in any sense and our deaths are like lamps going out, so since we can only enjoy one life, we should live it to our fullest. No matter how beautiful the reason might be, there should be no sacrifice of human nature, and one of the most magnificent aspects of human nature is love. Deprivation of human nature occurred during the Middle Ages in Europe and in feudal society in China. Those shop-worn scholars who assumed to be moralists, those well-fed and prosperous high officials and noble lords, and those churchmen who did not know the real truth of the universe never thought about the emancipation of human nature, especially the human nature of ordinary people. Those young people who played their youths away in anticipation for following their outmoded conventions and customs, and some ignorant old people too, made no efforts to loosen the shackles on later generations. Whenever any love disputes occurred, their reply would be to endure it as we have done throughout our lives. You see how we survived, you will do the same. What did you say? You should just shut up. You men wore 2 pigtails, you women wrapped your feet, must our young generation do the same? A fox without its tail is not a good fox and a life without love is not a good life. People should not only live for survival but for life. Love morality goes like this: as long as love does not bring harm to others, it is moral. Let us analyze several cases and phenomena according to love ethics, love civilization, proper age for love, love relationship, love diversity, and love morality. Mr. Yang Zhening and Ms. Wang Fan's love. Mr. Yang was a mature 82 years old while Ms. Wang was only 28 years old when they got married. Is there any problem with their love? Luo Yan has ascended to the level of a Buddha, a Grand Master. Xiefeng. April 10, 2024. Translation edited by Chinyu. This morning when I went online, I discovered 2 posts with profound thoughts while browsing through the comments. They were the words of Luo Yen. She said, "As long as one clings to possession, one will have nothing. Only when the mind is unattached can it possess everything. Only by returning to a state of emptiness can one fully embrace the beauty of the universe. Going downhill is effortless, the path is smooth and comfortable, for it leads to hell. Climbing upward requires overcoming various obstacles from within and from the outside, for it leads to heaven, which is a narrow gate." Previously, based on Luoyan's comments, I always felt that her thinking and cognitive abilities had already transcended the ordinary, but had not yet reached the depth and height of a Buddha level. After reading Luoyan's posts today, I can confidently say that her consciousness has surpassed the boundary between human and celestial and Buddha and has ascended to the stage of human grandmasters. As long as one clings to possession, one will have nothing. Only when the mind is unattached can it possess everything. Only by returning to a state of emptiness, can one fully embrace the beauty of the universe. Going downhill is effortless, the path is smooth and comfortable, for it leads to hell. Climbing upward requires overcoming various obstacles from within and from the outside, for it leads to heaven, which is a narrow gate. The above 5 sentences are something that humans can never comprehend. Only life forms that transcend humanity can understand the principles and mysteries within. Therefore, Luo Yen has become a Buddha, possessing the standards and qualifications to be a guide for humanity. Recognizing a principle does not necessarily mean that one's consciousness has reached that level. Recognizing it and being able to implement it is the true sublimation of the soul. According to the dedication report from Taiji Celestial in the Korean branch, Luo Yen began to work on Jeju Island and donated almost all her monthly earnings to the community. The fact proves that Luo Yen not only understands the principles she discusses but also practices them, achieving unity of body, mind, and spirit. Luo Yen is no longer an ordinary life form, we should regard her as a higher being. Make the best use of everything. Xiefeng. May 5, 2010. All things have the applicable, wonderful and strong point. Make the full use of it and there would be no waste. Shits, animals' excrements, are a fine fertilizer which will promote the growth of plant if being applied in the land. We should make the best use of everything or it will be a waste or a profane or irreverence. Everything has its unique function, and there is no waste in nature. Even feces, dung beetles, or the falling leaves in autumn have their use too. It will be a satisfactory and equal state for the full use of everything. As far as the human body is concerned, each organ has its specific function. While the eyes, nose, mouth, ears, hands and feet should be in full use, the brain, sex organs, entrails should be in full use too. Only in this way can we live up to the will of the greatest creation. It should be making the best use of everything or grievances will arise and the nature will be repressed. The strength of horse is running, so let it run, the strength of cow is giving milk, so let it give milk, the strength of honey bees is pollinating a variety of plants and making honey, so let them pollinate and make honey. As to human beings, some are good at singing or dancing, so let them sing or dance. Some people are good at growing vegetables, some are good at nursing, some are good at studying, some have an aptitude for theory, and some have an aptitude for practice, so provide them opportunities for maximizing their strengths. We should make the best use of everything, or it will be a destruction or contempt. The aircraft flying in the sky, the car running on the ground, the ship sailing in the water, they all have their own strengths. The African enjoys a good physical quality, the Western enjoys a good scientific and technological quality, the Asian enjoys a good quality in thinking. They all have their own strengths too. Beans are high in protein, vegetables are high in vitamin, fats and oils are high in fat, they all have their own strengths too. Everything has its merits and what should be used is to put their merits into full use. Of course, there is nothing improper for growing flowers with washbowls, plowing with horse or taking the pen as chopstick, but their merit is wasted and it is a distortion of nature. As to human society, everybody's ability should be brought into full play as much as possible. If those who engage in literature turn to scientific study, those who engage in music turn to acrobatics, and those who do farming work turn to business, it will be a great waste of manpower and also a great distortion and suppression of nature. We should make the best of everything, including the best use of human potentials. In this way, the waste will be minimized and the strength will be maximized. If someone lives powerless and accomplish nothing, the real reason is not that the man has not got a gift but that the man's nature was not brought into full play, or people did not make the best use of his talents, or people use his talents in a wrong place or wrong way. It is a waste to fire mosquitoes with cannon, and it is also a waste to tunnel with bullets or grenades. Home without marriage and family must make the best use of everything, no matter it is a person or thing in Lifechanyuan, and the Lifechanyuan era will make strive for this target too. All Chanyuan celestials should educate themselves in this aspect. More thoughts on how to apply to Lifechanyuan. Xiefeng. April 27, 2004. Lifechanyuan is not a political party or a religion organization. Lifechanyuan is a habitat of soul, where the secret of universe, time and space, humankind, lifetime and life are discussed and explored with the purpose of improving the spiritual nature of human beings. Lifechanyuan provide a broader space of flying every human mind rather than putting more spiritual shackles. Thus, we call it getting into Lifechanyuan instead of joining Lifechanyuan. What will we do here in Lifechanyuan? The main job is to purify our mind out of those wrongdoings and refresh our nature. The soul of human life is actually clean and pure, the purer of our refreshing, the higher of the nature of Tao, and the much more possible for seeing Tathagata. Tathagata is the greatest creator. Therefore, you need to get into Lifechanyuan with your spirit and soul. Who will wash the dirt in our hearts? It's we ourselves. In the Diamond Sutra, we are taught that it is not Buddha, but we ourselves can make a help for us. In Lifechanyuan, the Tao of the greatest creator, the secret of the universe and life will be preached in the most popular words. So, it is an individual matter whether you will have perception or not. Some people come here and have perception of being baptized, while some do not have any change in and out of Lifechanyuan. The reason is individual is different in spiritual nature and comprehension. If you have any plan for sharing your perception or if you hope you could explore the secret of the universe and life with others, or exchange your puzzles on lifetime, or even if you want to make comments or critical remarks on Lifechanyuan, you may send email to us. Any valuable speech full of wisdom and spiritual nature will be absorbed by us and will become part of Lifechanyuan. In short, the characteristic of Lifechanyuan can be summarized as the following. Lifechanyuan is neither a political party nor a religious organization, which will not set up any formal institution or absorb any disciples or followers into it. Lifechanyuan is a habitat of soul, a virtual presence. It only exists in negative universe and spiritual world. It is only the heart and soul could get into Lifechanyuan, and the key for getting into Lifechanyuan is in your own hands too. Lifechanyuan is free for getting into and getting out. No formal procedures will be asked and no obligations will be performed. There is no restriction for leaving Lifechanyuan too. There is no secular institution being set up in Lifechanyuan, therefore no political and social activities, or religious rites will be held and any secular customs will be invalid here too. It is impossible to get the ticket for Lifechanyuan by power, money, fame and physical charm. There is no way for the ticket except to being a good man and improving the spiritual nature. Accessing the website of Lifechanyuan is not the same as getting into Lifechanyuan, and Lifechanyuan is not the only approach for Tao too. I wish everyone who accesses the website of Lifechanyuan would be enlightened and acquire new perception of lifetime, and every celestial, saint and sage would experience the secret of the Tao of the greatest creator. I wish they would possess the heart of Jesus and Bodhisattva, seek wisdom, form Tao and show mercy to all living creatures, at the same time of apprehending the doctrine of Tao and making self-improvement of Tao. I wish they could give relief and help to all mortal beings out of the abyss of misery and reach the other side by using your spiritual nature and wisdom. What is spread in Lifechanyuan is the Tao of the greatest creator. I wish everyone who have been baptized by Lifechanyuan would be a messenger of practicing the Tao of the greatest Creator, cleaning the dirt and filth in the world while purifying their soul. I wish the sound of the greatest Creator resound through the mortal world. Lifechanyuan will not have any objection for anyone to joining any religion or political party, and will also hope the disciples of religions and members of political parties could have a chance for acquiring some emancipation from Lifechanyuan and renew themselves. What Lifechanyuan aims at is the life, heart and soul of human beings, rather than any religions, political parties or social groups. The Tao of the greatest Creator would be preached in the most popular word in Lifechanyuan, and what will be discussed is the secret of life in the universe. It is totally an individual matter whether you would have perceptions or not. Each religion group and each thought have different proposals, among which right and wrong, good and evil exist at the same time, and each has its own merits and limitations. It is an individual matter for making comparisons and absorbing the nutritious part, for improving one's future of life, possessing much more freedom in lifetime, and improving one's spiritual nature and wisdom. Not obsessing or being bound by any group or any individual's preaching, it is only through this way may it be possible for accessing the Tao of the greatest Creator at ease. New Human, New Life Lifechanyuan Era, 8. Dayform Buddha. December 21, 2006. It is the necessity of history to get rid of the stale and bring forth the fresh. Human beings are bound to move towards the more advanced civilization living state. The stale is the fertile nutriment for the newborn things, and the history sediment has become strong enough to breed a more splendid time Lifechanyuan era. It is the longing and aspiration for human to pursue the communism great harmony era, and people have had enough experiments like the different kinds of utopia villages. These experiments do not simply mean the failure but the accumulation of precious and rich experience for success and for all mankind. The inventor Edison finally invented the electric lamp based on his countless failures, which lightened the dark world. The countless failures of the utopia finally led to the birth of Lifechanyuan, which will lead human beings into a brand new Garden of Eden. The cultivation boat of new humans will set sail from the website of Lifechanyuan, and the life of new humans will begin from the Shangri-La, created by Lifechanyuan. New humans come from the metamorphosis of old humans, although with an original appearance, their connotation have been thoroughly remolded and endowed with new implication. New humans have 8 disparate features different from old humans. New humans follow the path of the greatest Creator. They do not revere any celestial beings but the greatest Creator, who characterizes with 8 features soul and only, amorphous, neutral, mysterious, fair, merciful, superbly powerful and wise. New humans will pursue 2 highest realms, the highest realm of human life and the highest realm of life. New humans will not have the consciousness and concept of country, religion, political party and family. New humans will regard love as the core value and meaning of life. New humans will revere life, nature and harmoniously coexist with everything. New humans will take truth, goodness, beauty, love, honesty, diligence and trust, but not constitution, law, regulation, commandment and dharma as guidelines of words and deeds. New humans will not pursue money, ascendance, position, beauty, personal honor, personality cult, personal possess and individualistic heroism but joy, delight, health, happiness and grace for every moment. New humans will aspire for the life of 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, Elysium world and celestial archipelago. Whether you like it or not, times and human beings are developing and moving towards Lifechanyuan era. Whether you like it or not, the spring of human is bound to come. The only difference is whether you are willing to train yourself as a member of new humans. If you are willing to do this, you can share the new life of Lifechanyuan era, otherwise you will be weeded out by the tide of new era. Consciousness determines the kind of life one is leading, this is the truth. Osho, the foregoer said, "My job is to make you aware that a new man is coming, and my job is to help you to aware him and respect him." New human does not come from another world, who is yourself in a fresh new state. The new human is you when your heart is tranquil, when you are in your deep meditative state, when you are in your beautiful space of love, when you are in your joyful singing, when you're in your ecstatic dancing and when you are in your love of the earth. No, any religion will teach you to love this earth, but this earth is your mother, these trees are your brothers, and these stars are your friends. When you see an old man walk straightly towards the grave, you will be relatively easy to abandon him and his lifestyle, his church, his pura, his temple, his god, and his sacred classic. Your sacred classic is your whole life because no one else is able to write it, and you have to write it to yourself. When you, with a blank book, come here, what you are going to deal with it depends on you. Birth does not mean a life, it just offers you an opportunity to create life, and let you to create a life that is so beautiful, so brilliant, so caring just as you can imagine and you can dream. The dreams of new humans and their causes will be mixed into one because their dreams will root on this earth, and they will bring flowers and fruits for you. They are not just dreams, they will make this world into a dream. Understanding our responsibility, human has never faced any greater responsibility than ever abandoning the responsibility of the past and the responsibility of erasing your past from your existence. The content of new life in Lifechanyuan era is rich, colorful and changeful. It mainly includes following 8 features. There will be only one government which coordinates the global affairs and arranges the production and activities of people. There will be no countries, religious groups, political parties, families and family life. The old people and children will be supported by the society, and it will no longer be a personal responsibility but handled by the whole community. Education and medical treatment will be all free, the disabled will be supported by all people in the society. There will be no public ownership or private ownership but non-ownership. All the human members will not be constrained to work in one particular region but be arranged in mobility to appreciate and enjoy the different scenery and natural beauty. There will be no one unemployed or any parasites. Everyone will have a house to live in, clothes to wear, work to do and pleasure to enjoy. There will be rich and colorful cultural recreational activities, in which music, dance, excursion and playing are the main contents. All members will be Chanyuan celestials, the last names will be eliminated, at last all religions will return to the origin, and all nationalities will be unified as one. Lifechanyuan era will be an era of person of virtue won't be abandoned by government, all people in the world become one big family, no one pockets anything found on the road, doors unnecessarily to be shut in the evening, the weather is pleasant, harmony and peace are everywhere, everyone is happy and joyful, everything is prosperous. Human beings and the earth become one and happiness and abundance are everywhere. Osho instructively said, "That is why I said that the new man coming to this world was the biggest revolution ever happened on the earth. There will be no way to avoid it, because the old man must die, they have decided and promised to commit suicide. Let them die peacefully. Those with a rebellious spirit should cut off their link with the old humans, and then they will be the savior, they will create a Noah's Ark. They will be the beginning of the new world. Because we know the old world and its pains, so we can avoid all those sufferings, jealousy, anger, wars, and all those destructive tendencies. We can experience a complete transformation, we can create innocent people, the caring person, the people who can breathe in free environment and the people who can help each other to obtain freedom. We can create a favorable environment so that can be given honor, can be respected not for some ideals or values, but just for his original appearance. This new breed will become the elites of the earth. New Year's thinking proposed by Lifechanyuan. Xiefeng. January 1, 2005. Firstly, we mourn deeply for the more than 100,000 people who died in the Indian Ocean earthquakes and tsunami recently. May their souls enter into the kingdom of heaven and may their living friends and relatives recover from their sorrow soon to rebuild their homes with as few tears as possible. We have already seen the power of the Indian Ocean tsunami. Facing the wrath of nature, human beings are small and powerless. We should understand that everything in nature, the entire universe, is ordered and programmed, and no matter what information we enter into nature, we will get corresponding feedback from it. There are no accidental phenomena in the universe. Behind the occurrence of all phenomena, corresponding factors must be at work. There are no natural phenomena without causes. Inevitable factors lead to inevitable results. This is procedure and an objective law that cannot be shifted by people's will. We had predicted the earthquake that caused this tsunami a few months ago. We put quotation marks on earthquake out of fear of causing any panic or misunderstanding and out of fear of being regarded as deliberately casting a mist and making a mess. Now, the problem is that if we continue to persist in our old ways, I am afraid that another one or two tremendous disasters await us. We must wake up to this danger before we cross the critical point. Humankind is the product of the greatest creator's consciousness, has close relationships with other lives in the universe, and interacts as causes and effects. Once people break the natural harmony, order, and symmetry of nature, they will face extinction from disasters. There is only one way to survive. That is to revere the greatest creator, revere life, and revere nature. If we ignore them, then the prospects for our continued existence becomes tenuous. In order to mend the fold after the sheep have been stolen, bring the dead back to life, turn away from danger, and be glorious and bright, Lifechanyuan puts forward the following suggestions for humankind to consider during this new year. Stop researching and promoting biological genes and stop cloning lives. Stop sending artificial satellite junk into space, constantly. Stop all nuclear testing and reduce military expenditures steadily. Reduce religious activities throughout the world and move closer to Lifechanyuan gradually. All political parties in the world must abandon their dogmas and gradually shift to Lifechanyuan values. America must withdraw its troops from their hundreds of bases throughout the world as soon as possible, and Al-Qaeda must stop its confrontational activities. The Middle Eastern countries should reconcile through multiple channels and end their internal strife. Strengthen and expand the UN's functions of coordinating global affairs, which will be integrated under their overall arrangement. It is hoped that they will regard revering the greatest creator, revering life, and revering nature as their new mission. All countries should learn from China to implement effective birth control policies. Reunification of the Korean peninsula should take place as soon as possible with no quarreling between brothers. Taiwan should return to mainland China as soon as possible. Have no fantasies, lest the entire island sink forever. Scientists with keen spiritual senses should break through the shackles of material thinking as soon as possible, focus on researching and exploring the non-material negative universe, make clear the true meaning of time and space as soon as possible, and provide guidance to human thinking and behavior with superscientific knowledge. Life scientists should concentrate on exploring life's mysteries, especially to solving the mysteries of the essence of the soul and to providing human beings with real knowledge about life. All universities and middle schools should offer courses on thoughts and wisdom of Jesus, Sakyamuni, Muhammad, Pbuh, and Lao Tzu. International media should publicize more truth, goodness, and beauty, and less of the falsity, evil, and ugly phenomena of human society. They should strive to lead people away from dark, negative thinking and toward bright, positive thinking. Stop hunting and killing wild animals, including fishes in rivers and seas. Stop cutting down forests, close factories and mines that pollute the air, rivers, and soil. Do not break any new ground for construction within a year, but maintain moderate economic growth, and never rush into development. Set this as the year to eliminate hatred, for a better future for mankind. Everyone, every organization, every region, and every country should eliminate hatred from their hearts and give up revenge temporarily, no matter how profound their hatreds are. The governments of the United States, Japan, China, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and other wealthy countries are invited to offer financial support to Lifechanyuan so that Chanyuan celestials can transform the Gobi and other deserts into oases and expand living spaces for humans. Lifechanyuan has unique plans and methods to transform the Gobi and other deserts. You reap what you sow. The greatest creator helps those who help themselves. Whether to live or to die is contained within a thought. The abysses of miseries are boundless, so repent and be saved. Think deeply, there is a way out. Rein in at the brink of the precipice, bring the dead to life. Do what you want, karma is the shadow following you. No debts between Chanyu and Celestial. Xiefeng. August 16, 2007. The big love means no love, the big morality means no moral. Lifechanyuan is not the secular society, and Chanyuan Celestial will never be in debt among each other. I, Shui Feng, create Lifechanyuan and come to the mortal world to find life for heaven. This is my mission, my duty, and my natural instincts. I do all these for myself to achieve the Buddhism of celestial beings, and I am willing to pay for it, so all Chanyuan Celestials don't owe me anything. If I invite you for a dinner, 100 dinners or billions of dinners, it is my own pleasure, and I have got my reward in the process of eating dinner. As a result, you do not owe me anything. If any Chanyuan Celestials obtain enlightenment, inspiration, physical strength or happiness, it belongs to your own merits and virtues, your own destiny. You deserve all these. All merits should belong to Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, the greatest creator, and yourself. I do not have any merits or virtues, so Chanyuan Celestial does not owe me anything and should not be grateful to me. I love playing, so there is full of talking and smiling in the homeland. I am happy because everyone is happy. This happiness is created by everyone and is the reveal of the true sentiments of everyone, so I should never be considered as the one that brings this happiness. In one word, no matter in the past, present or future, all Chanyuan Celestials do not owe me anything. Similarly, I do not owe anything to any Chanyuan Celestials. Your contribution in homeland means to accumulate treasures in heaven, which belongs to your own life track and is out of your own willing. The words and actions of each person are all for your self-accomplishment, so all Chanyuan Celestials do not owe anything to each other. The mutual helps of Chanyuan Celestial, no matter in mental or physical, are out of mutual affection, destiny, and out of their own will. Among all Chanyuan Celestial, they do not owe anything to each other. What we carrying on will change with our destinies and move according to one's temperament, and there is not any rights or obligation among us. If you are willing, we can move on together. Otherwise, we choose our own way. When we get together, we will care, praise and encourage each other to share the happy times. However, we will not worry about each other, nor owe to each other anything when we say goodbye to each other. Do not always expect returns for what has been done. Everything operates in the scope of Tao, and the greatest creator will make the fair judgment on everything. God's mill grinds slow but sure, and we believe, as a man sows, so he shall reap. At last, everything will be judged fairly. Here everything is free from vulgarity. Everything should not be measured by the worldly value system, just like one of the passionate lovers who complains, "You have delayed my youth and you have to pay for it," after they've broken up, or like the man and woman who have one night stand want to get tied down the other side. Here all loss and gains are realized during the process, and everything is out of our own willingness. Nothing is owed to each other. In order to climb the summit of human life and life, we come to Lifechanyuan. The relationship among various Chanyuan Celestials is not to form a clique to pursue selfish interests, neither to form some political party to fight for some rights or interests, but to fall into company with each other. Everyone has one's own willing and freedom and should be responsible for oneself. We will not pay you the youth loss cost, when someday you are not happy and begin to hate us deceiving you. We are not the interest usurpers or contenders, but the people who resonate with each other in the same frequency, so everyone should not defend other Chanyuan Celestials for a justice, not make an assessment on other Chanyuan Celestials, not be on behalf of other Chanyuan Celestial to fight for, name, or not manage the things of other Chanyuan Celestials which should not be managed, but should just focus on one's own self-refining and self-improving. All Chanyuan Celestials are independent and free, and not anyone has the right or qualification to restrict other Chanyuan Celestials. Chanyuan Celestials should not establish the difficultly sustained personal relationship or restrict each other with love or emotion. In one word, we have to remember, no matter how much merits or contribution you have made for Lifechanyuan, all Chanyuan Celestials do not owe each other anything, and everything we do is out of our own willingness. No oppressing and exploitation in heaven. Xiefeng. December 12, 2009. I had kept 3 dogs before, 2 German Shepherd and an ordinary puppy. Every day they have plenty of food, also there are spacious places in the front and backyards for their running and playing. I thought the 3 dogs should love each other and get along with each other harmoniously. But this is not the case. They often fight for food or for favors. I was very angry at this and said, "You deserve being dogs by birth, you can never become human beings." From the perspective of the 1,000-year world of heaven, I could see no reason for people struggling, fighting, and competing, no reason for oppression or exploitation because the natural resources is abundant enough for supporting all human beings on earth. How the greatest creator wish people could love each other and live in harmony all the time. But it is only an ideal. They have kept in competing and struggling for better life, intriguing or cheating for a little bit of natural resources. They have been creating hurts and hatred for empty reputation and social status. I'm very angry at this and think that, you deserve being human beings by birth, you can never be celestials. There is no oppression or exploitation in heaven, no fight or competition. No unpleasant or unhappy events might occur among the celestials. They love each other, living a harmonious and happy life without limitation. If a dog wants to become a man, it must act according to the way of thinking of human beings. If a person wants to become a celestial, she must act according to the consciousness of a celestial. A dog will remain a dog and a person will remain a person forever if they don't change the way of thinking. Anyone who wants to go to the heaven through self-improvement or self-refinement must not compete, struggle, and exploit others. You should not make others feel unhappy in any excuse or any approach. You should not restrict the freedom of others in any name or impose your own ideas and opinions to others. You should not bring any spiritual, mindful or physical harm on others. Home without marriage and family of Lifechanyuan is set up based on the lifestyle in the 1,000-year world, so the celestials here should not hurt each other. We should not get on with other people in the way of thinking of human beings of the mortal world. We should not oppress or exploit mutually. Instead, we should live the life in the 1,000-year world and love with each other like the celestials there. Only in this way is it possible for us to have the qualification for getting the 1,000-year world. In home without marriage and family, if a celestial hurt the other celestials and make them unhappy, I would tell you that you not only hurt the other celestials, but also hurt me, Shui Feng the guide, you hurt me heart and my feeling, you hurt Jesus the Christ and Buddha Sakyamuni, and you also hurt the favor of the greatest creator. You are only qualified to be a human being rather than being a celestial in heaven. Notice for who wants to apply for Chanyuan Celestial. Xiefeng. Chanyuan Celestials are ripened crops, and they shoulder the important task of pioneering the Lifechanyuan era for human beings. Standards to be a Chanyuan Celestial. 01. Revere the greatest creator, revere life, love nature and do not oppose government and the ruling party. 02. With graceful mind, civilized and cultivated, with certain degree of reading ability. 03. Healthy, well presented, gentle, kind, hardworking, honest, and trustworthy. 04. With a certain economic foundation and be able to solve one's own problems. 05. Having read at least 1/3 of Chanyuan corpus and Xiefeng corpus. 06. Age from 18 to 60. 07. Willing to enter the second home to live a new collective life of Chanyuan with no family and marriage. 08. Willing to devote everything to create a joyful, happy and free Lifechanyuan era, an environment, where things are harmonious, and everyone belongs to a big family which has lots of happiness, joy and freedom. Chanyuan Celestial will not take the following. 01. People who do not believe in the greatest creator. 02. Enemies of the government and the ruling party. 03. Incapable of reading. 04. Too much occupied with worldly affairs or engaged with too many human feelings. 05. Less than 18 or more than 60. 06. Those who cannot help themselves. 07. No access to the internet or incapable of computer network. 08. Eaten up with diseases. 09. Vulgar language user and with the inclination of bullying people. 10. Abusing one's parents. 11. Profaning God and Buddha, insulting ancestors and abusing the state leaders. 12. Liars and hypocrites who do not respect the facts and science. 13. People who are in favor of magic arts and the exceptional function. 14. High demanding for material living conditions. 15. Eccentrics, unable to integrate into the collective life. 16. People who are very jealousy and use to complain and compare. 17. People who are too egocentric or cynical. 18. Incapable of expressing one's own wishes and thoughts completely and accurately. Chanyuan Celestial not only needs to have the ability to solve his own problems, but also needs to have the ability to solve the problems faced by all human beings, so the Chanyuan Celestial should have a Mahayana aspiration, and should be hardworking, perseverant, brave and selfless, dedicated, should be open-minded, optimistic, positive, cheerful and unfettered, should have the courage to overcome all difficulties and march toward the ultimate goal, should have the quality of being true, kind, fair, honest and trustful. Chanyuan Celestial is not a common self-improver or self-refiner with the Hinayana aspiration, and she has to be an outstanding person, has to be the elite of all human beings, has to be the mainstay of human civilization, and a pioneer for the new life of all human beings. Please understand the nature of Lifechanyuan. Xiefeng. March 17, 2018. Translated by Qin Yu and edited by Peter. The mission of Lifechanyuan is to revere the greatest creator, revere life, revere nature, and follow the way of the greatest creator. The way of the greatest creator is the way of nature. The purpose of Lifechanyuan is to reap the ripe crops. The byproduct of Lifechanyuan is to create a brand new mode of production and life for mankind that is completely different from the traditional mode, so that mankind and human life can last for 1,000 years in a state of harmonious coexistence between man and society, and man and nature. This 1,000-year period is called Lifechanyuan era. The instructors of Lifechanyuan are Jesus Christ, Buddha Shakyamuni, Celestial Laozi, and all the saints and sages in the history of mankind. Xiefeng is the tour guide of Lifechanyuan, the messenger of the ancestor of Buddha, the greatest creator, and the incarnation of God, Buddha, celestials, and saints. The duty of Xiefeng is to guide Chanyuan celestials to the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the celestial islands continent. Lifechanyuan is not a political organization, not a religious organization, or any type of social organization. Therefore, there are no legal provisions, rules and regulations or commandments of any form in Lifechanyuan, let alone any form of political or religious rituals. Lifechanyuan does not belong to any country, political and religious organization, nationality, any kind of culture, nor does it belong to human beings. Lifechanyuan is not against any country, any government, any ethnic group, any political party, any religion, any faction, or any person. Lifechanyuan does not engage in any purely profit-oriented production and operation activities, does not engage in any political or social activities against the government and society, and does not engage in any supernatural, magical or mysterious activities, does not engage in activity that completely deviates from facts, science, logic and spirituality. Everything in Lifechanyuan is clear, so we do not discuss, argue, or debate with others. If you are resonant with the Chanyuan values, you should just follow the guide. If you think you are right, then just do what you think is right. Everything is built based on volunteerism, we do not force each other and do not try to persuade each other. Do not try to guide Lifechanyuan, and Lifechanyuan will never try to impose its will on anyone. Lifechanyuan does not cooperate with any country, political party, religion, organization, or any individual. Lifechanyuan implements a Superman philosophy, that is, either you listen to me, and you completely obey me, or I listen to you, and I completely obey you. If you listen to me, I will be responsible for all the consequences, if I listen to you, you will be responsible for all the consequences. There is no consultation, no discussion, or democracy. Or we do everything separately, follow our own paths, and mind our own business. Lifechanyuan implements holographic management. It is neither the rule of a legal system, such as the United States, nor the rule of men, such as China, nor the combination of politics and religion, such as Iran, but the rule of Tao. The Internet is the primary form of communication for Lifechanyuan. Therefore, everything in Lifechanyuan is centered on the web. With the Internet as a link and bridge, we do not engage in private propaganda activities that are outside of the Internet, let alone conduct door-to-door publicity and service like Jehovah's Witnesses. Neither will we go to crowded places for publicity, nor will we put up banners and slogans anywhere. Lifechanyuan does not cultivate management talents, does not encourage people to be great, does not encourage people to be rich, does not encourage people to be the elites in society, does not encourage people to be the best kind of man, does not encourage people to glorify their ancestors and become famous, and does not encourage people to become stars. Lifechanyuan only cultivates people to possess the qualities of truth, goodness, beauty, love, faith, and honesty, and only cultivates people with the education, cultivation and self-restraint required for life in the kingdom of heaven. Tao will manage the birth, growth, punishment, and destruction of everything. Xiefeng only serves as a tour guide, he does not reward or punish anyone, let alone cultivate anyone consciously. It is up to the greatest creator to judge who is right or wrong, and it is up to Tao to assess our merits and faults. Divine punishments, though slow, are always sure, which is beyond the intelligence of the human mind. The heavenly robe is seamless, while human consciousness cares about one and forgets the other. There are only 3 things for you to do after becoming a Chanyuan celestial: pay back your debts and end your worldly ties, accumulate your merits and virtues through serving and dedication, improve your quality and go to heaven. Only those who have great blessings, great fortune and a great fate will become Chanyuan celestials. Political parties will disappear, on Lifechanyuan era, 4. Dayform celestial. Political party, as a fixed class or stratum in human society, is an interest group formed in order to maintain one's own interest and is also a political organization striving to master the state power so as to seek the furthest welfare for one's own interest group. The political party organizations around world is difficult to count. We often hear and see in the media such as TV, network etc. like the Democratic Party and Republican Party of Democratic Party, New Komeito Party, Liberty Party, Communist Party, Social Democrat Party, Conservative Party of Japan, the People's Party, Congress Party, Communist Party, Telugu Desam Party, Nationalism Parliamentary Party of India, the Communist Party, Kuomintang, Democratic Progressive Party, All China Federation of Taiwan Compatriots, People First Party, China Democratic League, Taiwan Democratic Self-Government, Joseon Society, China Party for Public Interest. Revolutionary Committee of the Chinese Kuomintang, China Democratic National Construction Association, China Democratic League, China Association for Promoting Democracy, Chinese Peasants and Workers Democratic Party, Liberal Party, the Hong Kong Progressive Alliance, Democratic Alliance for the Betterment of Hong Kong, Democratic Party of China, the Rally for the Republic, Democratic League, Rally for France, Liberal Democrats, Social Party, Communist Party, Green Party, National Front of France, the Social Democratic Party, Green Party, Christian Democratic Union, Christian Social Union, Liberal Democratic Party, Democratic Socialist Party, Communist Party, Republic Party of France, the Labour Party, Conservative Party, Liberal Democrats of British. All above are political parties known to most, and it is difficult to calculate the seldom heard political parties. There are more than 100 political parties just in Taiwan. No one knows how many political parties in the world. No matter what kinds of political parties with what an extravagantly colorful description they offer, the essence of them is not to serve for the interests of all people but for the interests of their representing class and stratum, the so-called democracy, freedom, legality and human rights, etc. They are all the camouflage for obtaining their private interests. Everything is just a signboard aiming at obtaining the furthest welfare, and the self-deceiving and altisonant camouflage, the political party in history, at present and in the future is always the same. This is determined by the nature of the political party. The bustle of all the political parties can be described in one phrase: demons and monsters running wild. The birth of the political party has its own historical necessity, and the disappearance of it will also be a historical necessity. As long as the political parties exist, human society is bound to be disputed and disturbed forever. The only way to obtain a harmonious, peaceful, happy, healthful and tranquil era for all people is to let the political parties quit from the historical stage. In Lifechanyuan era there will be no political parties, but Lifechanyuan and global government. Lifechanyuan does not belong to the organization of political party, nor the religion, all people are the members of Lifechanyuan, and Lifechanyuan does not participate in and interfere the acts of government, but pays close attention to the construction of human spirits and soul. All the production and living things are coordinated and arranged by the global government, which only is responsible for material construction. Person of virtue won't be abandoned away from government, honesty prevails throughout the world. All the wise men can enter into the management agencies of government at any time. Everybody is let to display his talents fully, everything is made its best use. No organizations such as political parties or religions will control the governmental functions and elbow the wise men out of the intelligence center. The future Lifechanyuan will not have any form of minority group or interest group, and people are good friends but no organization, and they will be kind and friendly to each other. A man is bound to be cranked and abnormal in mentality, become treacherous, ruthless and out of reason once he joins organizations such as some political party or religion. All human beings are ruled by the organization consisting of such people. How can human expect the auspicious days? From now on, Lifechanyuan advocates people not to join any forms of religions, political parties, or other organizations so as to make a good preparation in consciousness to welcome the coming of Lifechanyuan era. France. Pray for Chanyuan Celestials. Xiefeng. October 6, 2007. Buddha and the greatest creator who create the universe. Falling on my knees, I pray for your blessings to all the Chanyuan Celestial of Lifechanyuan, including those who have left. Chanyuan Celestials are those who believe in you with heart and soul. Walking on your way firmly, guiding by teachings of Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, Prophet Muhammad and Lao Tzu, taking your revelation as the holy principle of everyday thinking and acts, we entrust our lives into your hands and subject to your supervision. We are humble, yet we feel proud and glorious to be at your side. We are no longer lonely, solitary, depressed, or lost anymore, since we are together with you and with those who believe in you. Buddha and the greatest creator, I am grateful and satisfied for what you have given me, and pray for your blessings to all the brothers and sisters of Lifechanyuan. I pray you to strengthen the confidence in Chanyuan Celestials' hearts and encourage them. In this way, they will never ever deviate your way under any circumstances, or slip into the evil bottomless abyss and further lost in the transmigration due to the lack of confidence, or wander along heaven to be gobbled up by hell and once again sink into the abyss of misery owing to the lack of courage. Please vouchsafe the Chanyuan Celestial with bountiful materials, help them get rid of their debts in case they will look back and stall their journey to the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world and Celestial Islands continent. Please vouchsafe the Chanyuan Celestial with rich and pure hearts, make them be able to be free from fear, poverty, stress, agony and misery, bless them with a prosperous, happy and joyful life. Please bless the Chanyuan Celestials with health and energy, keep them away from diseases, bless their work and life, and make their wishes come true. Please forgive sins of the Chanyuan Celestial, strip off their debts, make them be able to construct beautiful homeland for mankind and be your loyal subjects. Please protect the life journey of the Chanyuan Celestial in order to keep them safely arriving at your rear garden and become your beloved children. Please favor every Chanyuan Celestial, let the unemployed find their ideal jobs, the sick recover soon, the depressed be happy, the worried be joyful. Please allow us to build the home without marriage and family as early as possible, and let Chanyuan Celestial enjoy a life in accordance with your course soon and reach the Celestial Islands continent. Respected Buddha and the greatest creator, you are grandpa of the Chanyuan Celestial, and we are your joyful grandsons and granddaughters. So, please allow us to be naive and naughty, and allow us to sit on your laps, pull your beard, knead your nose, clutch your ear, and make you laugh every day. If grandsons and granddaughters make mistakes, please give them mercy. Please ignore their ignorant promises. We are children, no matter what has happened, we want to pout in your embrace. Buddha and the greatest creator, we want to be your obedient servants. Please look after us every day. Amen. Pray for Chanyuan Celestials. Xiefeng. October 6, 2007. Buddha and the greatest creator who create the universe. Falling on my knees, I pray for your blessings to all the Chanyuan Celestial of Lifechanyuan, including those who have left. Chanyuan Celestials are those who believe in you with heart and soul. Walking on your way firmly, guiding by teachings of Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, Prophet Muhammad and Lao Tzu, taking your revelation as the holy principle of everyday thinking and acts, we entrust our lives into your hands and subject to your supervision. We are humble, yet we feel proud and glorious to be at your side. We are no longer lonely, solitary, depressed, or lost anymore, since we are together with you and with those who believe in you. Buddha and the greatest Creator, I am grateful and satisfied for what you have given me, and pray for your blessings to all the brothers and sisters of Lifechanyuan. I pray you to strengthen the confidence in Chanyuan Celestials' hearts and encourage them. In this way, they will never ever deviate your way under any circumstances, or slip into the evil bottomless abyss and further lost in the transmigration due to the lack of confidence, or wander along heaven to be gobbled up by hell and once again sink into the abyss of misery owing to the lack of courage. Please vouchsafe the Chanyuan Celestial with bountiful materials, help them get rid of their debts in case they will look back and stall their journey to the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world and Celestial Islands continent. Please vouchsafe the Chanyuan Celestial with rich and pure hearts, make them be able to be free from fear, poverty, stress, agony and misery, bless them with a prosperous, happy and joyful life. Please bless the Chanyuan Celestials with health and energy, keep them away from diseases, bless their work and life, and make their wishes come true. Please forgive sins of the Chanyuan Celestial, strip off their debts, make them be able to construct beautiful homeland for mankind and be your loyal subjects. Please protect the life journey of the Chanyuan Celestial in order to keep them safely arriving at your rear garden and become your beloved children. Please favor every Chanyuan Celestial, let the unemployed find their ideal jobs, the sick recover soon, the depressed be happy, the worried be joyful. Please allow us to build the home without marriage and family as early as possible, and let Chanyuan Celestial enjoy a life in accordance with your course soon and reach the Celestial Islands continent. Respected Buddha and the greatest Creator, you are Grandpa of the Chanyuan Celestial, and we are your joyful grandsons and granddaughters. So, please allow us to be naive and naughty, and allow us to sit on your laps, pull your beard, knead your nose, clutch your ear, and make you laugh every day. If grandsons and granddaughters make mistakes, please give them mercy. Please ignore their ignorant promises, we are children, no matter what has happened, we want to pout in your embrace. Buddha and the greatest Creator, we want to be your obedient servants. Please look after us every day. Amen. Preface of Lifechanyuan Values. Fancheng Buddha. As we know, Chanyuan values were born in Chanyuan corpus. In order to understand them, one should read them first, which according to Crane Celestial, is a unique and outstanding book. This description is appropriate, for we all know that nothing happens accidentally, whether a book or a theoretical system, their birth is never accidental. As people, we are only in direct contact with literal things, neither the conscious opportunity nor the whole process behind it are things that we can imagine and understand, but there must be sources and provenances behind any literal phenomena. Reading from this angle, the whole text reappears as a lively script in which its characters and events are full of vivid details. It is how archaeologists can recover bits of ancient history through a series of intact excavations. From this perspective, any literal things left in human history are based upon the author's life experiences, the social background at that time, and the uniqueness of his or her consciousness. If you read Chanyuan corpus in this way, it will all come alive and its soul will jump off of each page. With this attitude, you will complete the entire corpus naturally in one setting and find it to be impeccable. It covers a wide range of subjects that are rarely found in human history and also touches on the depth of cultural context with a background that is unobtainable from any other book that any human culture can match. So, it is no exaggeration to say that Chanyuan corpus reproduces the development of human history vividly and crystallizes human wisdom from antiquity to modernity. Chanyuan corpus starts from the birth of the universe, analyzes deeply several documents of major religious sects in human history, and reproduces the original features of all religious scriptures. It traces the entire history of China from ancient times to the present, from historical legends through thousands of years of human development. From this perspective, you can go back and reinterpret any classics, allusions, myths, and historical legends, as they are all alive now and are closely related to the relevance of our lives today, and understand how the contribution of Chanyuan corpus to mankind is outstanding because it has reached the pinnacle of interpretive wisdom of human history. If we read Chanyuan corpus closely, we will sense that it leads us to know the greatest creator from the origin of the universe to the space of life, from the motions of macroscopic celestial bodies to those of submicroscopic quarks and strings, and from the great unsolved mysteries of history to the smallest things happening around us every day. It uses Life's Wisdom chapter and Unconventional Thinking chapter to interpret the truth of human history, to analyze natural phenomena, and uses the crystallization of human wisdom to trigger sparks of our wisdom. The chapters of Humanity and Human Life and Life interpret the origins of people, the levels, truth, and meanings of life, and so much more. From ancient times to the present, from the macroscopic world, down to that of the microscopic, it reveals the evolutionary processes of all human life and points out the current situation of human development and the difficulties that will be encountered in its future development. In the Preaching chapter and the Universe, Time and Space chapter, it offers detailed explanations of all phenomena in ways that can be understood easily by common people. It also explains in detail the origin of the universe and, through its description, the birth process of the greatest creator. The universe's development is presented in such a way that we can understand correctly what Tao is. It also reveals the unified field of the universe from the dual perspectives of theology and science, and points out the current positions and drawbacks of science. It also reveals the birth of time and space in the universe and guides us to understand the living conditions of the various lives in 36-dimensional space, points out the beautiful developmental trend for mankind, and finds better living spaces for life. Among them, the non-material world will lead mankind to explore unknown realms and open new chapters to further understand the truth and meaning of life and the greatest creator, and to raise our level of life. The chapters on revelation, self-improvement and self-cultivation, celestial cultivation, the attainment of Buddhahood, and the treasures of classical advice guide us on how to understand the truth of life and improve our levels of life. They lead us to experience, step by step, the changes from microscopic life to macroscopic life, from natural phenomena to the essential changes of things, and from the elementary, to the intermediate, and to the advanced, with practical approaches. By these means, we can improve our understanding and gradually make our knowledge advance from the quantitative to the qualitative. This is also the process of training us to achieve enlightenment gradually. These methods are fixed, but their applications are flexible, changeable, and differ from person to person, from low to high, and in orderly manners. The Civilization chapter is a new chapter open for humankind because in the future, people will know the greatest creator and solve the problems of the current processes of human development from their roots. In Lifechanyuan Celestial's words, we must know our roots and origins, the greatest creator, the origins of the universe, and the operating mechanisms of things from non-existence to existence, so as to work out the game rules of human life and existence to ensure that all lives can share free, happy, and blessed lives bestowed by the greatest creator. As a result, people will live in harmonious and peaceful times when everyone will know the roots of life as being grateful to the greatest creator and cherishing life. Chanyuan corpus covers too much information to cover completely here. To summarize it, the whole corpus impresses us with its extraordinary integrity and strictness in the many chapters of the book which form a coherent whole. As a theoretical system, it is impeccable. The conscious opportunity and process behind such an amazing manuscript is by no means an accidental turning point because a person's time and energy are limited. It is my view that even if one wanted to study such a vast and broad field, it would be difficult even if they were to devote their whole life to it. Otherwise this fantastic book would have appeared long ago and we would not have needed to wait until now. We can say that the Chanyuan corpus is a book from heaven which is written in words, but better than that, it seems to tell you everything and nothing at the same time. Whether you understand it or not depends on your nature. So much for that. Let me talk about what Chanyuan values are according to my understanding. They are the most direct channel to your source of life. They show a path of happiness that the greatest creator and various gods and Buddha have conveyed to mankind through Xiefeng. They bring our sight closer to the roots of the universe which seem far away from us. They uncover the veil of space, time, and the non-material world. They combine religion with science organically and make great contributions to the scientific establishment of the unification of the universe. They help us to interpret the meaning of life, from its origin to its transmigrations, and from its level to the improvement of its quality. They reveal the universe's true consciousness, structure, and energy, and allow us to break down our barriers of consciousness to recognize and connect with its source directly. They help us to understand that it is the obligation of every life to maintain a stable and harmonious universe, understand the meaning of human life, and understand how to improve the quality of our lives and to welcome such opportunities when the universe is about to undergo major adjustments. That is to say that Chanyuan values are the life and human life norms that must be followed by new people and also show the best ways for us to obtain wisdom because it gathers all the wisdom from throughout human history and continues to carry it forward. Chanyuan values are a treasure chest from which you can take whatever you want. People armed with these values can identify all truth and falsity, leaving demons and ghosts with no places to hide. The values can help to open your eyes to wisdom, Dharma, and Buddha. They are a great melting pot of life. The kind of life quality that you want to obtain depends on your effort and wisdom. Of course, Chanyuan values are also a Pandora's box. Good begets good and evil leads to evil. Chanyuan values seem simple but they cover many of life's secrets, from solving real-life problems to interpreting life phenomena, from health preservation methods to ways of improving the quality of life and guiding us to improve our understanding in a detailed manner. From understanding the truth of things to interpreting the nature of our lives, its secrets interpret everything organically and combine the material world that we can see, hear, feel, smell, and taste, with the non-material world that is beyond conception. They reveal the truth from the manifestation phenomena of life and let us know what the soul and the non-material structure of life are. They also reveal how to know our own spiritual entities, how to connect with other spirits, and how to recognize the relation between us and the spirit of our source, step by step. It seems that Chanyuan values have too much content while also having none at all. What are Chanyuan values? You have to interpret them yourself and use them flexibly. What are Chanyuan values? Do you understand them? Well, I seem to say nothing. Rather die than swallow one's words. Xiefeng. November 24, 2009. Lifechanyuan is built on the basis of faith, which is the belief in the greatest creator, Taoism, Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, Celestial Lao Tzu, Muhammad the Prophet, the acceptance of matter of truth, science, logic, telegnosis, causality, and also the belief of a bright future of mankind. This is the connotation of the belief of Lifechanyuan, and its denotation is that Lifechanyuan would never ever break its word to society and people. We will keep our promises. If someone is disqualified as the Chanyuan Celestial and his or her name as Chanyuan Celestial is cancelled, his or her dedication to Lifechanyuan would be returned in full except for 2,000 yuan service fee. We would rather die than swallow one's words. Why shall we take out 2,000 yuan as service fee? Because Chanyuan Celestial enjoys services provided by Lifechanyuan, and it's natural to dedicate once you have enjoyed. Reaping without sowing equals to exploitation, and it violates the law of justice and fairness. Lifechanyuan is home to all Chanyuan Celestials. We would like to make every Chanyuan Celestial to know that our home is not only reliable and trustworthy but also brings security to everyone. Appropriate compensation must be returned to Chanyuan Celestial once he or she makes dedication to Lifechanyuan. Dedication to Lifechanyuan somehow resembles bank deposit. It always belongs to the Chanyuan Celestial who deposits it in person rather than someone else. He or she can take back the dedication any time in accordance with his or her will. Except for the deduction of service fee, Lifechanyuan would make every effort to return the dedication in full number. Lifechanyuan will always keep promises and will never bear any burden of incredibility, both spiritually and mentally. Without faith, man cannot live in contentment, let alone be trusted and relied on by others. Man who is without faith cannot be called a pure man, we can only regard it as a soul. Although others can be faithless and they can go back their words, Lifechanyuan as well as Chanyuan Celestial must be faithful and trustworthy, we mean what we say. Be factual, realistic, dignified, imposing, honest and open-hearted, all of which are virtues of Chanyuan Celestial. Only when we are faithful and credible, can we obtain these virtues. Heaven is home to faithful and trustworthy people, while faithless people are doomed to go to hell. We are destined to have a bright future so long as we keep our promises and be faithful. Rather die than swallow one's words is one of the Lifechanyuan values. Religion will disappear, on Lifechanyuan era, 3. Dayform Buddha. September 24, 2006. Religion is a kind of knowledge exploring the relation between human and nature and is a kind of knowledge about life. It is an ideological theory framework helping people to establish the correct view of world, view of life and view of value. It is a bridge that guides people to move from the material world to non-material world, and it is an efficient way to establish belief and enlighten mind power. The essence of religion is to maintain the inner silence and the world peace, to help life move from this shore to another. The starting point of all the religions is kind-hearted. The limitation and discrepancy of human recognition result in countless doctrines which are difficult to justify themselves and result in the birth of countless religious sects and factions. On the other hand, the different religious sects and factions are not only unfavorable to the world peace but become a major factor of the turbulent world. With the existing of religions, human beings will never share peace and tranquility. The birth of different religious sects is very natural and everything will experience the birth, development, expansion, and then declination and death. Religion is of no exception. Religion has made great contribution to the inherence of civilization in history. However, with the gradually deepening recognition on the natural law, people find the religion has become fetters and handcuffs which are used to constrain human thinking. Without breaking down the superstition of religion, the civilization of humans cannot move forward and human beings can never enter into the new era. There are 8 shortcomings in the existing religions. Ignorant to life and unclear about the road to heaven. What is life? Where is the heaven? How can one go to the heaven? The existing religions are confused about this. Making people feel terror, fettering human thinking. Without the concrete time and rescuing channel, religions create the eschatology to terrify people indefinitely. Religions restrict people to explore freely and persuade people to give up enjoyment in this life, which delays people's research and exploration on the essence of life. Overweening and autocratic. Any religious sects or factions who regard themselves as the only correct one and others are all heresy. All religions are plotting to control mankind. They are narrow-minded and unwilling to communicate with other sects or learn from others. Suppressing human nature and fettering human spirit. A series of canons, doctrines and commandments are the ropes to fetter human thinking, and most of them work to suppress human nature and fetter human spirit. All religions run counter to the Tao of the greatest Creator. What is the true essence of human life? What is the value and meaning of human life? All religions fail to spell out and speak clearly. Suppressing the new emerging forces and destroying the elite of human being. Such as the Christianity regarded the Witness of Jehovah as heresy and burned Bruno to death. Creating contradiction and stirring up war. All religions cannot tolerate different opinions and would rather create contradiction and stir up war in order to maintain their own benefits. Wasting manpower and material resources and creating the religious superstition. Religions build up temples and churches everywhere and call on people to worship idols, offer up a sacrifice by killing, hold crazy activities, which have harassed the people's mind and nature's peace and tranquility, hindered the natural activities of mankind and led people into the religious superstition. It is difficult to estimate the good effect of religion, nor its bad effect. Religion has become the obstacle for the progress of human civilization. Humans should move towards unification, however, religion is unwilling to do so. One can imagine, is Christianism willing to give up all its own doctrine to accept that of Islam? Is Islam willing to give up all its own doctrine to accept that of Hinduism? Is Hinduism willing to give up all its doctrine to accept that of Buddhism? Is Buddhism willing to give up all its doctrine to accept that of Christianism? They will not, and these four big religions will safeguard their own doctrine. In this way, how can the world move towards unification? Can the world be peaceful? The only way is to unify all doctrines into one and unify all religions into one. Everyone follows the path of the greatest creator. In the Lifechanyuan era, all founders of religions such as Jesus, Sakyamuni, Muhammad, Lao Tzu, etc., and all the people whose sermons causing the birth of different religious sects and factions will receive respects and honors, but any one of these sermons cannot become the only correct theory. People will not fanatically worship their own hierarch. There are not any religious sects in the world, and the whole people will not worship any idols or go to any churches or prostrate oneself in worship, but revere the greatest creator, life, nature, and follow the way of the greatest creator. Everyone shares the maximum freedom in thought, spirit, and human life. With the development of science and the continuous liberation of human spirit, the value view and the world view of people also change constantly. We used to think that the religious believers are elegant, self-controlled, civilized and noble, who are armed with faith, aspiration and ideal, and now we gradually realize that the religious believers are stubborn, obsessed, perverse, emotional, simple-minded and short of reason and forgiveness. If you obey their religious doctrine and rules, they would be kind with pleasant countenance. If you propose different opinion and ideas, they would be out of reason and become very terrible with an angry face. The future mankind will enter into Lifechanyuan era, and any religions have to overturn the values of Lifechanyuan if they want to exist, otherwise you have to give up your own religious belief. Certainly you can stick stubbornly to your own belief and no one can control you. People in the end can do nothing but laugh at you, pity you, and feel sorry for you. Revelation. Dayform Buddha. October 24, 2006. Everything Lifechanyuan has done was in broad daylight since being set up. Whatever we do is publicized in website, we don't organize secret activities, we never do anything beyond the value of Lifechanyuan. Except Chanyuan Celestials, none of us was honored with preach work, even Chanyuan Celestials needn't to take any obligations and responsibilities, whatever they do follows nature, they even never take special task, because Lifechanyuan isn't neither a religion nor a political organization. Lifechanyuan takes game as its focus, which will never carry on any organizations and activities and never arrange people to preach. Besides the website of Lifechanyuan, there aren't any other types of individual and organization. The founder of Lifechanyuan doesn't arrange people to do special work. The value of Lifechanyuan is to maintain government, self-refinement and self-improvement in Lifechanyuan are all publicized on website, which won't organize and arrange factional activity. Chanyuan Celestials list is publicized on website of Lifechanyuan. Besides the name in the list, there isn't a person who is entitled with Chanyuan Celestials and regarded as special person belonging to Lifechanyuan. Because there are devious people who hold the flag of Lifechanyuan to cheat and bluff, so I warn kind-hearted people, raise your vigilance, and don't be tricked. If you had doubt, you could publicize it on website at any time, and we would make it clear. Furthermore, I want to say that there aren't any forms of religious and political groups or all forms of organization behind Lifechanyuan, there aren't any powerful individual and backer patron but the greatest creator. Meanwhile, I declare again, Chanyuan Celestials are to get into Lifechanyuan instead of participating in Lifechanyuan. We don't have any archives and procedures about a person except the list on the website. To people who want to get into Lifechanyuan, as long as you are ready, we will honor him, her a name of celestial being, we never ask his, her age, real name and social and culture background, so to Chanyuan Celestials who want to leave Lifechanyuan, as long as they declare they are quit, it take effect instantly. We just pity for them, we never force them stay on the list, which is totally different with some website statement it is difficult to escape from Lifechanyuan. Values of Lifechanyuan aim at the whole body of mankind rather than a certain country, at future era of Lifechanyuan rather than current system. It is Lifechanyuan's consistent policy and principle to be fairness and be exposed in the face of common people and be supervised and checked up by humankind. Anyone who are cheated in name of Lifechanyuan, we suggest them publicize timely and handle matters according to national laws. Hereby notify. How should we establish the peaceful and warm homeland? Xiefeng. November 20, 2009. Chanyuan Celestial should be the most refined, cultivated, reasonable and civilized person. The homeland constituted by such kind of people should be peaceful, warm, bright, harmonious, joyful and happy. The love of the greatest Creator should be fully deployed here and the love of Jesus the Christ and Buddha Sakyamuni should be realized here. The beauty of nature should be deployed here. If we can't approach these, we will feel ashamed in front of the greatest Creator, Jesus the Christ, Buddha, and the nature. We will set up a model of lifestyles for human beings on earth, and build the homeland into a warm, peaceful, bright, joyful and happy place. Only by filling up the abyss of misery and bring human beings out of sufferings will we worthy the name of Lifechanyuan Celestials, will we be able to pay off the debts which have been accumulated in many lifetimes, will we be able to accumulate ample capitals, so that we can come and go freely in unlimited time and space. A peaceful and warm homeland should be established like this. Revere the greatest Creator, life and nature, follow the way of the greatest Creator. Stick to 800 values for new era human being. Conflict resolution in humans' consciousness is through love rather than promoting Lifechanyuan values through arguing, disputing, struggling, or battling. Be patient with those who are unwilling to accept our value and permit them to think about this for a period of time. Be sure to carry out our practice like a Chinese saying, when a melon is ripe, it falls off its stem. When water flows, a channel is formed. Do not disturb other people's belief system. No matter which religion organization, which group of self-refinement, which political party or government they might be, we will not disturb them. We only follow our own way without hurting other people. We will not criticize and disturb them, and we will not say that we are the only correct one. We advocate, let 100 flowers blossom and 100 schools of thought contend. Fragrant flowers attract butterflies. Chanyuan Celestials should set up examples for human beings through their outstanding qualities and behavior instead of highlighting themselves through preaching or arguing. We revere and love life. We would hurt nobody, even demons and ghosts and all sorts of evil spirits, let alone flowers, birds, insects and human beings. We refuse any forms of struggling and we would never force other life to accept our concepts in the name of justice. Other people could hurt us, but we would never hurt other people. Brothers, sisters and lovers of the homeland must be amiable to each other and no blaming. We should not educate each other, we should perfect ourselves first rather than staring other people's shortcomings, especially those celestials who contributed to the construction of Lifechanyuan a lot, the celestials of spirit level and management level and Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We must not try to teach or instruct other celestials but should give a demonstration. Bear in your mind that in Lifechanyuan, education and instruction is the guide's business, not yours. Your business is to demonstrate your genuineness, goodness, beauty, love, faith and honesty through your words and action. You just need to do your job well, trying not to be above others, trying not to be a leader, for the homeland is neither a religion organization nor a political party, there is no leading or being led, govern or being governed here. Every celestial is the baby of the greatest Creator, and the follower of Jesus the Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, Celestial Lao Tzu, and Prophet Muhammad. Every celestial is the dearest of Guide Xuefeng. So, in our homeland, no mental, psychological and physical hurt is permitted on the celestials, not one jot or title will be permitted. We will try to make all celestials enjoy a happy and free lifetime and a beautiful future. Any idea or practice to force one's will on the celestials is totally wrong. It is the guide's as well as everybody's duty to protect our loved ones from any mental, psychological and physical hurt. In the aspect of sex in the homeland, it is open and free, but there is no permission for any attempt to seduce, lure, threat, harass or control other people according to Chanyuan values. Making love is an advanced and beautiful dance of two souls with same values, rather than a way to release sex desire. No stable and special relationship is permitted among celestials except for some historical relationship, such as husband and wife, parent and children. The stable and special relationship will be harmful to the harmony of the homeland and it might be dragged into the swirl of secular world. Every celestial should pay off the debts, free from worldly attachment, accumulate merits and create a beautiful future all by himself. What the homeland provides is a foundation and circumstance for each celestial rather than dealing with personal affairs in secular world. One must be responsible for his wrongdoings and take the consequences. Any intention of obtaining happiness from the homeland without personal endeavor and devotion is illusion, because it deviates from justice and fairness which is the way of the greatest Creator. Therefore, no selfishness and laziness are permitted here. If you don't give in this home, there is no way you will have the right of enjoying the happy life in the homeland. History has given us a golden chance for sublimating our quality of life, and this age also give us a chance of demonstrating our genuineness, goodness, beauty, love, faith and honesty. People will be facing with more and more crises and dangers and there will be a period of hard times in future. We should bring hope for people and create a beautiful future for human beings. In such a perilous and harsh moment. It is what the greatest Creator has blessed us and what Tao has glorified us. We must hold firm faith and belief without a second changing, and devote all we have into the construction of the homeland, into this great career for human happiness. To be selfish you have to be unselfish first, to be somebody you have to be nobody first. The secret of becoming celestials lies in here. This is way of construction of a peaceful and warm homeland. This is the way of creating Lifechanyuan for human beings, this is the way of self-fulfillment. How to get along with each other in Lifechanyuan. Xiefeng. December 22, 2009. All Chanyuan celestials have obtained life visas and are the loyal disciples of Jesus Christ, Buddha Shakyamuni, Celestial Lao Tzu, Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, relatives of Xiefeng, the tour guide of Lifechanyuan, and blessed children of the greatest Creator. The relationships between Chanyuan celestials are as brothers, sisters, relatives, and lovers. All Chanyuan celestials must love, care for, encourage, and forgive each other. They share common beliefs, common values, common hobbies, and a common future. Among these are having no conflicts of interest, no differences of nobility and lowliness, no quarreling or fighting, and no irreconcilable contradictions. The excellent qualities of Chanyuan celestials should be reflected first in their relationships with each other. Those who care for and love their brothers and sisters are walking on the way of the greatest Creator, adhering to Lifechanyuan values, and respecting the guide. Similarly, those who hurt their brothers and sisters of Lifechanyuan are deviating from the way of the greatest Creator, abandoning our values, and hurting the guide. When brothers and sisters encounter difficulties, we must do our best to help them by never turning a blind eye or a deaf ear to them. We must share weal and woe together, and when they are unhappy, we must never gloat or ridicule them, but make them feel loved with warm and passionate words, enlighten them with wise words, let them know that they are not alone, and that we are all with them and care about them. When a brother or sister makes a mistake, we must rally together, not to criticize or bludgeon them, but rather to forgive them and help them to realize their mistake through the salutary influence of education. In the case of their failing to realize their mistake, we must wait patiently and give them opportunities to resolve their issue. If a brother or sister commits a crime unintentionally, no one should ever discriminate, ignore, despise, or monitor them, but forgive them. As long as they remain in our homeland, we must still care for and help them. We use only love to transform them. When brothers and sisters are in poor health, we must give them special life care including the best food in the home, and let them have enough rest, offer more warm and encouraging words to them, and give them all the conveniences they need. When brothers and sisters have special interests or hobbies, we must not deprive them, but respect and encourage them, not restrain them, but understand them, and not deflate or attack them with any excuses, but do our best to support their interests. When brothers and sisters say wrong things accidentally or even hurt another one intentionally, no one should ever attempt a tit for tat or combat poison with poison, but forgive them and treat them with an open mind and an open heart. When we encounter disputes and conflicts among ourselves, we must never tie our feelings in knots, nurse our grievances, be indifferent to each other, or hold grudges as strangers. We must learn to forgive. We must never speak words that are insulting, hurtful, caustic, offensive, or undue, but rather ones that are lovable, cozy, humorous, sweet, and tender towards each other. We must never plant thistles and thorns within our own spiritual gardens. When we chat with each other, we must never discuss the mistakes of others. In this homeland, no matter what, where, or under what circumstances we talk, we must always avoid talking about the wrongdoings of other brothers and sisters as much as possible and must never sprinkle salt on their wounds or pour oil on their sparks, but always respect the dignity of everyone and fully protect their privacy. Do not guard against, monitor, supervise, or track and investigate your brothers and sisters. Do not speculate in your own heart about their thoughts and feelings, do not compete with them for anything, and do not argue, scold, or beat them, and do not take them to court. We would rather be bullied or hurt by our own brothers and sisters than bully or hurt them. We would rather believe them absolutely than doubt them at all. In any difficult or hard situation, we should surrender our way of life to any of them and leave death to ourselves. Chanyuan Celestials are virtuous people who are free from vulgar tastes, extraordinary people with open minds, people who are going to heaven without nostalgia for the mortal world, people who understand the value and meaning of human life and treat their life journey with a game spirit, people who know the secrets of life and understand the priority of life so as to improve and perfect their non-material structures until they finally achieve the status of celestial beings. There is nothing that we cannot understand and nothing that we cannot make allowances for and forgive, especially for our own brothers and sisters. There is nothing that we cannot pardon. All Chanyuan Celestials are relatives of Xiefeng, and I will be glad when you love, care for, and get along well with each other. I will be sad if you hurt, dispute with, or estrange each other. Let us follow firmly the way of the greatest Creator as guided by Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, Celestial Lao Tzu, Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, and the great leader, Mao Zedong. Let us make unremitting and unswerving efforts to climb to the highest levels of life and life. Let us march together happily, joyfully, and harmoniously to the Celestial Islands continent. Humanity's most ideal life has been born on Earth for over a decade. Xiefeng. July 11, 2023. Translation edited by Chinyu. Let me describe this kind of life, so you can see if it is the most ideal life for humanity. No one pays you a salary, bonus, or benefits. You have nothing, yet you immerse in happiness every day, no longer worrying about the necessities of life. No one supervises you, everything is up to you. Yet, every day, you willingly create, give, and contribute, finding your greatest joy in doing so. No worries about unemployment or the necessities of life, risks are shared, and resources are shared. There are no internal laws to constrain you, no rules or regulations to restrict you, everything is voluntary. Yet, life is lived in a tranquil ease, and people interact in a peaceful and harmonious manner. There's no conflict, let alone competition or contention. No marriages, no families, so there's no worry about caring for the elderly or raising children. Tedious household chores disappear, and complex interpersonal relationships vanish. A rich and varied sexual life without the need to invest time, energy, or money in maintaining specific romantic relationships. No corruption, theft, gambling, or drugs, only love pervades the space. There's no manager above your free will, only values and programs are at work, values managing, and programs maintaining. Just be yourself, no need to scheme for interpersonal relationships. No lazy people, everyone is striving to achieve the highest quality. Use the resources within the scope of supply as much as you want. There is no designated person responsible for distributing the fruits of labor. Everyone's freedom and security are paramount. No interference in your freedom, no neglect of your safety. If anyone encroaches on others' freedom, threatens or harms others' safety, the program will expel them from the living circle. For a maximum of 3 years, everyone's living and working environment relocates. From place A to place B, then from place C to place D, and so on, indefinitely. Traditional customs of treating and giving gifts disappear. No need for anyone to establish special relationships. Holidays related to religion, political parties, or nations all vanish. No celebrations of birthdays, but cultural and entertainment activities are abundant. Sick individuals may receive care, but not pity or sympathy, as the basis for falling ill no longer exists. Why even fall ill? End-of-life care is meticulous, and everyone will die with dignity. Everyone is a labor creator. White-collar workers who are purely exempt from physical labor account for less than 1%. The wealth gap is nearly zero. No worries about education, healthcare, housing, or retirement since the collective assumes responsibility for all. The aforementioned ideal lifestyle can be partially realized in any part of the world or integrated on a global scale, but it cannot be fully unfolded. For some individuals, this way of life is undesirable. Those deeply entrenched in pursuits of power, wealth, and social status, aiming to live lives that evoke envy and jealousy, find this ideal life appalling. It needs to be vigilantly guarded against, prevented, suppressed, and eradicated. This ideal life has existed on Earth for over a decade. Therefore, it is not just a paper theory or an imaginary concept, it's a living reality. Do you think there is a more ideal way of life? If so, please enlighten us. Humanity's most ideal life has been born on Earth for over a decade. Xiefeng. July 11, 2023. Translation edited by Chinyu. Let me describe this kind of life, so you can see if it is the most ideal life for humanity. No one pays you a salary, bonus, or benefits. You have nothing, yet you immerse in happiness every day, no longer worrying about the necessities of life. No one supervises you, everything is up to you. Yet, every day, you willingly create, give, and contribute, finding your greatest joy in doing so. No worries about unemployment or the necessities of life, risks are shared, and resources are shared. There are no internal laws to constrain you, no rules or regulations to restrict you, everything is voluntary. Yet, life is lived in a tranquil ease, and people interact in a peaceful and harmonious manner. There's no conflict, let alone competition or contention. No marriages, no families, so there's no worry about caring for the elderly or raising children, tedious household chores disappear, and complex interpersonal relationships vanish. A rich and varied sexual life without the need to invest time, energy, or money in maintaining specific romantic relationships. No corruption, theft, gambling, or drugs, only love pervades the space. There's no manager above your free will, only values and programs are at work, values managing, and programs maintaining. Just be yourself, no need to scheme for interpersonal relationships. No lazy people, everyone is striving to achieve the highest quality. Use the resources within the scope of supply as much as you want. There is no designated person responsible for distributing the fruits of labor. Everyone's freedom and security are paramount. No interference in your freedom, no neglect of your safety. If anyone encroaches on others' freedom, threatens or harms others' safety, the program will expel them from the living circle. For a maximum of 3 years, everyone's living and working environment relocates. From place A to place B, then from place C to place D, and so on, indefinitely. Traditional customs of treating and giving gifts disappear. No need for anyone to establish special relationships. Holidays related to religion, political parties, or nations all vanish. No celebrations of birthdays, but cultural and entertainment activities are abundant. Sick individuals may receive care, but not pity or sympathy, as the basis for falling ill no longer exists. Why even fall ill? End-of-life care is meticulous, and everyone will die with dignity. Everyone is a labor creator. White-collar workers who are purely exempt from physical labor account for less than 1%. The wealth gap is nearly zero. No worries about education, healthcare, housing, or retirement since the collective assumes responsibility for all. The aforementioned ideal lifestyle can be partially realized in any part of the world or integrated on a global scale, but it cannot be fully unfolded. For some individuals, this way of life is undesirable. Those deeply entrenched in pursuits of power, wealth, and social status, aiming to live lives that evoke envy and jealousy, find this ideal life appalling. It needs to be vigilantly guarded against, prevented, suppressed, and eradicated. Xiefeng. August 16, 2006. Translated by Tongxin and Shidai. I am a Chanyuan celestial in Lifechanyuan who has descended to the human world